All right, honey, it's time to do a show.
Woohoo! All right, sweetie, let's do this.
I feel like we're going to need to explain that later.
Nah, let him wonder.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monk. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm all right. How you doing?
Not too bad. A much, I don't want to say pain-free, a much less painful day than the last several. So I'm in good spirits. Little tired because seasons are changing and stuff, and fuck Michigan weather. I will say this though. This is the time of year if you're one of those people who likes like the leaves changing colors and stuff, you got to see Michigan. I know everybody goes up to New England and shit because apparently you like the smell of piss and people who can't speak English, but we got that same thing in Detroit. Just come to Michigan. It's very pretty if you go driving through the country.
I wouldn't drive through Detroit, but yeah, the state is pretty.
Yeah, it's gorgeous outside my house right now. All the leaves are falling, and Phoebe loves the sound of crinkling paper, anything that crinkles. She loves it, and she can hear all the leaves, and it's actually driving her a little bit insane. We have to close the windows to keep the cat from losing her fucking mind.
Wow.
She was sitting there today, and I was watching her as she's staring out the window, and leaves would fall in her. I think she's going to throw her neck out, man. I know they can move their heads fast and stuff because they're little hunters and they, zoom in on something, but there were a lot of leaves falling. I live basically in the middle of a forest. Mine's the only house on the street like that, but I do. I live in a heavily wooded area, and there's only 2 pine trees in the entire lot, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so lots and lots of leaves fall, and that poor kitty cat. She's gonna sleep so well once they finally all fall down. You can drive through Detroit, just don't stop. I would drive around it. I seriously would.
Yeah, it's worth the time to go around.
You do not want to catch a stray, especially when you're driving. Retro says, outside of my place is about a foot of slush. Didn't you say it like snowed there for the first time like 2 weeks ago? That's what you get for living in Canada.
Technically, it's U.S. Canada.
I mean, it's Alaska, but let's be honest.
I mean, it's the staging ground for our future takeover of Canada.
Fair. I'm from Detroit. It sucks. I've been through Detroit and to Detroit many times. Yeah, it does. You're right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I would have loved to have seen it in its heyday.
Yeah.
Back when Motown was really a thing and the Motor City actually made motors.
Yeah, back when it was booming.
Yeah.
I mean, downtown, they've fixed up quite a bit, but you still have to go through. It's like the eye of the hurricane kind of thing.
Yeah, before the rampant crime and political corruption and all of that, back when it was a nicer place. Anyway, Jack, we're here tonight to talk about Kamala. God damn it. Guys, I'm just going to let you know, we have another Kamala interview to watch. Yeah, I had that same thought, but I can't help myself. But we're not opening the show that way because we have so many other things to try to squeeze in before then that are a lot shorter. And I want to start by thanking Kamala supporters.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a shit show. What a bunch of
bullies. The Kamala supporters have convinced themselves that she did not say, you guys are at the wrong rally to Christians. She wasn't saying Christians weren't welcome there. And if I'm being fair, I don't think she was meaning to say that. It is entirely what she said. I'm going to give you my opinion. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's what it came off like. So,
yeah. So she's giving her speech. We watched it yesterday, and somebody heckles, and 2 things are clearly heard. Christ is king, and when she hears that, she stops talking. And then somebody yells, Jesus is Lord, and she says, I think you guys are at the wrong rally, waits for a clap from her fucking seals, and then says, you want the smaller rally down the street. Here's what I think happened, Jack. Kamala's an idiot. She absolutely heard what they said. if I heard it through her mic, she fucking heard it. I promise you. She knew what they said, but she was so focused on getting her clap back moment at people who would dare to interrupt her speaking. I'm talking now. I'm talking now. I'm talking now. That she didn't even consider what was being said to her. She should have either ignored it, which probably would have been the smart way to go, or been like, amen, but this isn't the time to talk about that. You know what I mean? There were several ways to get out of that without, you Christians don't belong here.
You people aren't welcome here.
I mean, she is so bad at her job. Her job is running for the presidency. And that's going to start the actual topics of the show, because Kamala did something weird today.
Oh, what? That's usually Walz's job.
After spending more than a week trying to hammer home that Donald Trump is exhausted, he's so exhausted.
Oh, he's exhausted.
She took the day off.
What?
14 days before the election, that is already a shortened election for her because of how she got the nomination. She takes a day off. Did you see Trump's comments about this? He had a roundtable today with Latinos. I don't remember if it was a specific group that he was meeting with, but they were Latino. I don't care more than that. And he brings it up like 5 times, like, who the fuck does that? And then he says that she's lazy. She's got a reputation for that. I was like, fuck. How do you spend a week saying that Donald Trump is exhausted? You could see it. He had to cancel interviews that he canceled because he had problems with the people involved, not because he was tired.
Yeah.
And then take a day off.
Yeah, well, he does like 4 events in one day sometimes. And she's like, I'm just sleepy.
Thank you, Snubber. It reminds me of the South Park episode. Hey, Panda Bear, we don't want your kind around here. Now, Kamala, he ain't done nothing. Oh, yes. The little redneck guys on South Park, I do like, and I wish they used them more. Kenny's dad was one of them in the original shows, and then they made him Kenny's dad, and he didn't get to be part of that anymore.
Oh. Is that the sexual harassment panda episode?
Is it that one?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Tyrai, thank you so much. This is from yesterday. I missed this completely. But thank you so much. Monk, I've listened to your show since Dax. While I've lost interest in many things over the years, your show has kept me entertained. Thank you for your witty antics when you do show up. That's fair enough. Thank you so much. JB, thank you. Today was a great day. I got to watch Cage Musha, Shadow Warrior, for the first time. I would highly recommend. It was made in the 1980s by Akira Kurosawa. I can actually say his name because I watch a lot of gamers, and there's a lot of crossover Japanese stuff there.
Yeah.
Anyway, about a thief who becomes a body double for a warlord during Edo times.
Edo.
Yeah. Edo, thank you. Don't worry, it's all in color. Yeah, but it sounds like anime, and I like girls. Sorry. I gotta stop saying that.
No, they like girls too. They just can't talk to them.
Fair enough. Comrade Kitty, thank you. She needed a day off for lack of vitamin D. And there's an eggplant emoji that goes with that. Professor Chaos, thank you. Hey, Jack, be jealous. I work with a smoking hot mid-20s short, petite Asian lady who is somehow both cute and smoking hot. And Snubber, thank you. It was sexual harassment panda. Was drowning his sorrows at the redneck bar. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I knew it. That's a great episode. Sexual harassment panda.
I couldn't remember if it was that one or not, because that's when they start to turn against him.
Yeah.
And then he becomes like the anti-sexual harassment panda, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's been a
They
long time.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was sad. Professor Chaos, I'm not jealous. Just send me her work schedule, and I'll bring a consent form for my subterranean love den. It looks suspiciously like a net. That's neither here nor there. Um, okay, I'm a little jealous. Thank you, JB. Furthermore, in great news, Jason Vukovich, aka the Alaskan Avenger, is out on house arrest. Better yet, he is doing his own YouTube channel simply called the Alaskan Avenger. I guess he is leaning into the name, which is pretty badass as a nickname. It absolutely is badass. So thank you, JB, and thank you, Cult of Krill. To be fair, Kamala taking a day off, having Christmas or Christians kicked out of church can be tiring. Yeah, she was exhausted from doing all of Satan's work, bitch. Thanks, Cult.
I just don't get how you keep giving Trump this many wins.
Because she's really bad at it.
At least go do one event and then take the rest of the night off. Put a lid on it. Even Biden faked it for a couple of hours each day. They say, I need a day off. Trump's exhausted and I need a nap. It's amazing. And then Trump shows her up again because after the Fox thing, there were a whole bunch of people, especially on her side, were like, we need to get her on Rogan. And what does Rogan announce today? This Friday, he's having Trump on.
Yeah. I don't think she has the balls. Me and Fugi were talking about this in DMs. I don't think she has the guts to go on Rogan. I really don't.
One, I think she would be a boring as shit guest. I think the Trump one has the potential to be really interesting.
Oh, absolutely. Trump is a very chatty, personable person. And Rogan's an okay interviewer if you don't fall asleep from him talking monotone from all the weed that he's smoking.
And he's going to have a president of the United States there, so he can ask him, directly. And Trump's even mentioned, most people do, about things like Area 51, because Joe likes conspiracies and stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do you think Rogan had to agree not to smoke? Oh, yes, absolutely.
I would say almost certainly, because Trump is a big teetotaler. He doesn't like drinking or doing drugs or smoking.
I doubt that they went so far as to not allow him to have alcohol there, but with that enclosed space, you can't smoke without at least a contact high there.
Yeah.
Circus Zero, thank you so much. She needed the day off after doing the Five Guys tour that really wore her out. You would think she'd be used to it by now.
Well, you're getting older. Your throat muscles aren't as strong as they used to be.
I mean, Five Guys for her is a light day.
I don't know. She's 60 now, so. Two things. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Just glanced at the CNN homepage. There are 4 different stories referencing Hitler and Trump. I'm surprised it's only 4. They're getting better. And who was it? USP 21816 said, "Did you guys hear about the E. coli thing?" Yeah, did you hear about that in Colorado?
No.
A bunch of McDonald's had to recall their or stop producing their quarter pounders because E. coli poisoning.
Lettuce? No, because lettuce would have been.
No, it sounds like it's narrowed down to either the onions or the ground beef.
If it's the quarter pounder, it's got to be one of those two things because those are the only two things that are exclusive to that sandwich.
Yeah, because there's different kinds of onions on that one than there are the regular burgers.
Yep.
No,
but do we know how many illegals were working at those restaurants?
Well, it's Colorado, so odds are pretty good. I mean, they just don't wash their hands. Oh my God, Trump poisoned McDonald's.
Could there have been a better time for this to happen to McDonald's? I mean, they're going to be riding the wave of Trump forever. They could probably get through this without even a bump in their sales.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is going to hurt them at all.
Yeah, and that is unusual because, look, it does happen. Restaurants, eventually, safety protocols break down, whether it's within the store or in the supply chain. But usually you take a hit for it for at least a little while. They might get through it completely unscathed because of just the other part of the news they've been in.
Yeah, it was a little blip on the news. But I've seen a couple people talking about it, but it looks like they caught it early. Some people got sick. I don't think anybody's died yet. They might have, but it looks like they shut it down pretty quick. So I don't think it'll be a big deal. That they're still going to ride high off the Trump thing.
No listeria on the fries. That would definitely be a worker problem then, because listeria can't handle a fryer. Anyway, I know I put a douche on the screen. Sorry, guys, it's a used douche. But we have to watch this clip, Jack, because this is one of the most unintentionally funny things I've seen all election season. And we got to laugh at it. This is Timmy Walz. He was giving a speech somewhere. Oh, apparently Madison, Wisconsin. It's on the screen. I don't really care where, but he's trying to be Trump. It's always funny when you can see these politicians trying to be Trump and failing at it miserably. I mean, he even swears in this, Jack.
Coach Tim Pond. Yeah, he's so badass. Oh my god, he's so badass.
By the way, hi Nuts, I see you out there.
Hi, Stargazer. Oh, one person did die. 49 people in 10 states have been sickened.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I still have not had McDonald's, and I still want it. And I was going to have a quarter pounder.
I had a quarter pounder, and it was fucking delicious.
What I like to do is get a quarter pounder and tell them to don't put ketchup and mayo on it. Put a shit ton of mac sauce on it, and then it tastes like a giant Big Mac.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you just put Thousand Island sauce with...
No, look. I know people like to call it Thousand Island, but it is different. It is a slightly different sauce, and it is noticeable. You can't just pour Thousand Island on a hamburger and it tastes like a Big Mac.
Yeah, you got to mix it with like some relish.
It needs something sweeter added to it. They used to actually sell a Big Mac made with quarter pounder meat. They called it the Monster Mac.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore though, because they were like, we're killing people.
Well, I mean...
Anyway, speaking of killing people, Timmy Walz here. Here we go.
And that's not a joke. Well, look, I'm not going to waste all the time I'm in. I'm going to talk about his running mate. His running mate, Elon Musk.
Was that supposed to be funny? This dude's just really weird, man.
He really is. I don't know who wrote that joke for him, but it's not even a good joke.
That's terrible. He probably wrote it himself.
And look how proud he is of it. Oh, shit. Was I supposed to say that? He even waited for it. He gave the audience time to answer or to, cheer at him going, I'm going to talk about his running mate, Elon Musk.
Seriously. Where is Senator Vance after he got asked the simplest question in the world at the debate? Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? And after 2 weeks, he finally said, no, he didn't. That's where
Vance has been all over the media. He's been doing rallies the whole time. Where is Senator Vance? He's out there. You're just got your head up your ass and can't see anything.
Yeah, he's busy working.
You are in no position to be like, he couldn't answer the easiest question. Motherfucker, you didn't answer a single one. A single question that night.
Nobody on their ticket can answer us questions with a straightforward, honest answer. So
Vance is
everywhere. No right.
Vance is so many places. If people say, hey, did you see what Vance said on whatever show? I'm like, you gotta give me the clip. Because he's been fucking everywhere.
Yeah, these guys are actually running around, going places, whereas Harrison Walz are, at best, sort of half-assing it.
But he wants to talk about his running mate Elon Musk, so he goes right back to JD. Before he goes back to I almost said Elmer Fudd because I just saw it in chat. Right before he goes back to talking about Elon again. This is a horribly crafted speech. What you should do is bring up the JD Vance thing and go, what I want to talk about actually is his real running mate, and then your stupid joke. But
Yeah.
here comes one of the greatest cell phones I've ever witnessed.
He's been spending his time. But that's it. So, look, Elon's on that stage, jumping around, skipping like a dipshit on these things.
What?
Well, Captain Jowls does that. I can pull up 5 clips right now. They have this idiot running around, waving at people with his jazz hands and his clappy hands.
Yeah,
that's what Elon was doing, was mocking you, Walz.
He was literally mocking this dipshit.
Yes.
Oh my God. And that's not a joke. I see he's taking cues from Biden now. Thank you, Keldrick. Yes, indeed. Look, all they know how to do is steal. Did you see all of the stuff coming out about Kamala's plagiarism?
Yeah, Zero Hedge had a really good article on it I retweeted. I'll toss it in the chat for people that missed it.
She had been accused of plagiarism, I think, was it earlier last week? Not that long ago. And so more people did digging, and they found, I mean, like, this is how bad her plagiarism was. To prove how good she was at her job as a prosecutor, she plagiarized a fictional story and claimed that she had prosecuted this fictional crime.
Yep. Who was it? Robbie Starbuck?
Probably.
One of the guys we usually talk about on here did a very in-depth piece on it, and there is a mountain of stuff coming out about her and her plagiarism. Her book apparently is littered with plagiarism.
Yes. And for those of you who are saying, wow, and what, no, that is 100% true. She plagiarized a fictional story and claimed it as a real prosecution her office handled. The story was presented as a fictionalized typical account. So it wasn't real. It was like, it was from a rape crisis line, and it was about a woman being trafficked. And this is the kind of call we get. It wasn't an actual call they had.
Yeah, it was like a training thing they use.
Yeah. And this was from, I want to say, the Chicago area. And she claimed that it happened in San Francisco, or was it in LA when she was a prosecutor out that way? But she claimed to have prosecuted it in another state. A fictional fucking story. I am more convinced than ever that this woman is just manufactured. And it makes sense because she didn't earn her place in the world. She sucked a dick to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. The credit is really due to Dr. Stefan Weber from Austria. He's a plagiarism hunter. And Aaron Sabarium, who writes for the Free Beacon. She plagiarized that. She also plagiarized roughly 80% of her testimony before the House Judiciary Committee in support of student loan repayment.
From another fucking congressman.
Yeah, a Republican congressman, apparently.
Yes. And notice that's not in the news. The news, when the first issues of plagiarism came out, they reported, how did they say it? Right-wing accounts seize on accusations.
Yeah. On accusations. She copied Wikipedia.
She did, yes.
I mean, that's so fucking lazy. What are you, a college freshman?
Oh, man. Do you have the tweets about that?
I can pull them up. Hold on.
I just wanted to show the audience so that you guys, when we say plagiarism, this isn't like she paraphrased shit. It's literally copied word for word. And every now and then you might, one of the examples in there is that she changed the word who to whom, which was the correct usage. But she even had, she kept in like the wrong pronunciation, or sorry, punctuation. She's getting away with it. Nobody's saying shit about it.
No, it's only a press it's only a scandal if the press picks it up.
Yep. And that's the same problem with everything when it comes to Democrats. Rogue Thought, thank you so much. I live in a blue state, and my elderly father, who has never registered or voted, received a ballot. My sister, who never registered and never voted, received one as well. Another safe and effective election? Well, Rogue Thought, depending on what state you're in, whether or not you purposefully registered doesn't matter anymore. Isn't it in California? They just send ballots out to all people who are eligible to vote, right?
I'm not sure. I know Colorado does that. It's the third link.
Oh, cool.
That's one of them anyway. I mean, it's
we don't need. As long as we have a decent example to show. Yeah, there we go. This will work. And I'm not going to read it off to you guys. Just know that the highlighted portions are exact same text. There you go. Don't worry, nothing to see here.
Nothing.
Plagiarism literally tanked Biden's 1988 election. He had to drop out of the presidential race over plagiarism and lies. None to see here. None to worry about anymore. I mean, this is... Can you get more blatant than this? Fifth graders who are told that they have to write something in their own words do better than this.
Yeah.
This is pathetic, and nothing will be said.
No, why would they want to do that?
It'll just get swept under the rug, and she'll run again in 20 years, and she'll be fine. No, there's no consequences, Jack.
Never are anymore, especially for government officials. They just lie through their teeth, and everybody's like, okay.
Tulsi Gabbard has come out, Jack, and officially become a Republican.
I don't care. She's still a gun grabber.
She went up on stage with Trump earlier, and she said, "While the Democratic Party has no home for people like us, the GOP does under Donald Trump." And I actually got a little sad about that, because I still think she's quite left, and she is right that the Democratic Party has gotten so fucking extreme that me and her, and we have some serious differences in our values, are closer together than she and Democrats are.
Yeah, it's a scary time to be alive, let me tell you.
It's fucking insane, man. Lisa says, I'm coming around on Tulsi. Look, I'm going to take the same. I don't think she's changed all that much, but the Overton window has shifted to where, it makes more sense for her to be a Republican.
Yeah.
And she was a Bernie bro, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters seem to have come over to the Republican Party. I guess if you're not communist enough, you're a Republican.
I think especially with Trump, I mean, the Republican Party has moved away from the warmongering of the Bush years and even the Reagan years.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no room for that in the Democratic Party right now because they just want to kill everybody. We got to go blow up everything. I used to think Che Guevara was cool. Even watched the film about him with Benicio del Toro. JB, as long as you said used to, we're cool.
Otherwise, we gotta have some talk.
Yeah, we were all young once.
Well, like it's easy to fall for a lot of the indoctrination stuff. There's so much of it out there, and you don't get to hear the truth of what monsters a lot of people really are. Real quickly, thank you, Evolve Patel. Kamala to reach out to the Jewish vote because she snubbed them so much. Tried to put on an event for a Jewish holiday. They got so much shit, but more importantly, they replaced mentions of God with Kamala and read passages of her book, deifying her. Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, that's really weird. That's
Well,
really weird.
in fairness, isn't that deifying whoever she stole those passages in her book from?
That's a good point.
I'm just saying, just to
Well,
be technically correct.
that actually makes it worse because they're deifying her for something somebody else did.
Yeah.
It sounds a lot like Satan.
I don't think she's smart enough to be satanic, honestly. I'm surprised she, and I was gonna say remembers to close her mouth, but she often doesn't. Oh,
Well, there's that, yeah.
yeah. On your screen, have you seen this, Jack?
No, I don't think so.
You can clearly see right here, this woman said, well, you guys might not be able to clearly see it, but it says Harris Walz.
Oh, yes, indeed.
We're looking at a Ring camera, and I don't remember if there's volume on it, but I'm gonna just turn it off in case. Let's just see what happens. Knock, knock. Hello, are you here? I guess they're not home.
Get the fuck off my porch. Come back on the warrant.
Huh? Let's reach into their mailbox.
What?
Take shit out and replace it.
Wow. You're stealing their fucking mail, even if it is a shitty political ad.
It's illegal for them to have even opened that mailbox.
Well, yeah, but then they're stealing the mail on top of that. Tell me these clowns are getting charged. I know they're not, but tell me they are.
No, as far as I know, as of now, no.
Of course not.
I believe this was reportedly in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Oh, swing state. Hold on. Let me contain my shock.
Several people have mentioned the two words that need mentioned here: federal felony.
Oh, I was going to go election interference, but yes, there are several problems here.
You are not allowed to do this. And it's weird because at the start of this, you can see her clearly looking into the camera.
Yeah.
So they knew that there was a fucking camera there?
They know they're not going to get in trouble for it, so why do they care?
Nut says, I'd press charges. Well, I don't think you actually can. What you need is the Postmaster General or the Attorney General to get involved in. Ain't no fucking way they're going to do that.
Not in Pennsylvania or Michigan or any of the other swing states. Those are all run by lefties.
This is clear. And while you see that the video is cut up, as soon as he opens the mailbox is right down there, and you see him lift it. That is a federal fucking offense. You are not allowed to do that.
Yeah, but then he pulls it out.
And then he pulls it out, yes.
It's like, yeah, you don't get to do that.
So even if there's part of this where he puts it that the same stuff right back in, it doesn't matter. He's already committed the crime. You don't get to go wander through your neighbor's mailbox.
But what if they're supporting Trump?
Oh, how in the fuck is this not a major story? Oh, because Kamala supporters, of course.
Yeah. If they weren't Kamala supporters, this would be huge. This would be all over the news. All over.
Nuts says then I'd post the vid every day raising hell. Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, I would be calling the Postmaster General. I would be calling the DOJ constantly until something was done. Could you report it as theft? It depends on what is left in the video. Because if they left the mail on the ground, because it kind of does look like he sets it down. I want to see the full video. But just from what's there, I don't think you can get a theft charge out of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but technically it's not your mail until you open it and return. No. And once it's in your mailbox, it is between you and your mailbox. The United States is not. We don't play when it comes. Well, we didn't used to. When it comes to mail fraud.
Yeah.
It is illegal to. The exact wording. I wonder if I have that. The exact wording of the statute. Somebody there it is. Skeptalk sent it to me. Whoever knowingly and willfully obstructs or retards the passage of mail or any carrier or conveyance carrier carrying the mail shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for not more than 6 months or both.
Don't make the mail retarded.
You cannot get involved in other people's mail. Yeah, because way back in the day, you know, Pony Express and stuff, the U.S. was quite proud of its postal system.
Mm-hmm.
And for good reason. I mean, what they accomplished, especially back in the days of like the Pony Express, man. Yeah, you cannot tamper with people's mail at all. All right, moving along. Do I care about that one? Well, yeah. This one's just brief. There's not a lot to say about it, Jack. The New York Supreme Court ruled that New York City employees who got fired for not being vaccinated must be reinstated and given back pay.
Wow, that's surprising.
The court said, quote, being vaccinated does not prevent an individual from contracting or spreading COVID-19.
Wow, they followed the science?
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm so scared right now.
Yeah, it is surprising. It's very surprising that it happened, but it's I'm glad it did. I'm very, very happy. What else do we have here? Oh, I have to talk about this one. I don't want to give them any kind of credit for this, but we have to make fun of the New York Times. We're going to look at their picture rather than the article, though. You guys can look it up. The article itself is Trump took a turn at the fryer. McDonald's workers have thoughts.
Oh, God.
So we all know Trump was at McDonald's the other day serving fries. And the New York Times, being the bastion of good journalism that it is, went out there and asked a bunch of McDonald's workers that they found what they thought of how he did the job. And this is probably going to surprise you, but after 15 minutes of working there, where he only did the fryer for what, maybe 5 minutes of it?
Oh, tops, yeah.
The rest of it was him passing stuff out the window. They said that he wasn't doing it exactly right. One lady was upset because at one point during this, Trump throws salt over his shoulder for good luck. It's one of those things people will do. And the McDonald worker went, "You should never do that. There could have been somebody standing behind you."
Oh my God. He knew nobody was behind him. Shut up, you baby.
The New York Times spent resources to go have McDonald's workers critique a fucking photo op for Trump.
So tiresome how stupid these people are. I threw a pinch of salt over his shoulder because it's an old superstition to ward off evil. God, grow up, you babies.
No, he's going to blind somebody when he throws salt over his shoulder and it gets in their eye.
Oh my God. Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, I drove through a Wendy's when when they're open for like an hour or two after they close down the dining area.
Yeah.
And they were listening to a song really loudly called Keep Dat Nigga.
Oh.
I forget who sings it. Apparently it was fairly popular for a while. And there's a lady in there singing and dancing along. And I'm like, huh, this is a Wendy's.
When my wife used to run a restaurant, after work, they'd let him turn on music. And that eventually got to when it was really, dead inside, they'd let him. And because of a very similar situation, an inappropriate song came on. So they had to look, you guys can still play music, but nothing like that.
Yeah.
Frosted, thank you. They've lost so many slug employees that way.
Yeah.
Look, the floors in a McDonald's are incredibly slippery. So you probably shouldn't throw salt on them if you're working there. But as the press made sure to tell us, Jack, the restaurant wasn't even open.
Yeah, they can't have it both ways. Either it was closed and this whole thing was a photo op, or it was open and it was just a regular day at the office.
Yeah,
you don't get to have it both ways.
Rap was cool when I was 12. I still like rap. And I would probably even listen to a song with that name and sing right along with it, but it's not appropriate at a workplace where you have customers.
Oh yeah, it was a very, very graphic, naughty song. Thank you, Keldrick. Don't retard the mail. There are a few things more terrifying than a mailman with tard strength. That is a fact, and now I'm
fair.
gonna have that nightmare.
I mean, we saw what happened when you give them assault weapons. 90s joke not playing today. Look, there was a time when going postal had a good reason for saying going postal. Now it's going school shooter or Tim Walz friend, whichever you prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kamala fans, man, they were so mad about her own words. Don't care about that one. Do we want to watch CNN? No, because we got to watch Kamala on NBC later. So Daniel Dale just did an actual fact check of Timmy Walz saying that Trump lost manufacturing jobs and pointed out that until the pandemic, Trump, because Tim said more manufacturing jobs than anyone. And
Okay.
Daniel Dale, the CNN fact checker, he's like, no, that's not true. Before the pandemic, he actually increased it. And there are tons who, after the even counting the pandemic, who lost more. And several people were like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Don't pat that fucking piece of shit on the back. He's only doing that to try to save what little bit of his reputation is left. This is the guy who said that during the Trump-Biden debate, Biden only lied one time. The man lied 3 times in his first fucking answer.
Yeah, was the guy asleep during the debate, or
no? He's a fucking CNN shill, so he was just doing the dirty work of the Biden administration.
That's sad, man. Can you imagine being there in their pocket? Like you have
to
no stump for them all the time with all the dumb shit that goes on.
How?
Like, look, that Easter Bunny is a genius. He wasn't just helping the president. He's a secret agent.
How in the ever-loving fuck can you be a fact checker these days at one of these major organizations and have even an ounce of dignity?
Considering they just lie, got me, man.
This motherfucker said Biden only lied maybe once. He said it that way, Jack. He didn't even specific. Biden absolutely lied once. He maybe lied once. He lied again 3 times in his first answer. But don't worry, man. He's totally still there. I wanted to bring up a clip of Kamala that is just amazing, but I'm not going to. I'll tell you about it instead. Because remember the video we watched last night, Jack? With her and Liz Cheney and whoever that Porky Pig looking chick was that was asking him questions. They did that same thing, but with Maria Shriver. And Maria asked this question. Can you tell us something that maybe the voters don't know about you? 3 things that voters don't know about you. What would they be shocked to learn about you? And she said this. I'm a mother. 1, no, you're not. You're a stepmother, and only after the kids were grown enough that you didn't have to take much care of them. That she was a prosecutor. That she's a wife. That she's a sister. Literally everything she names is shit everybody knows about her. The question was 3 things people would be surprised to know about you. I'm a sister.
That would come up on a general Google search, I would think.
So to try to help her out, she goes, and now I'll turn to you, Miss Cheney. You've been out on the road with her. What are 3 things that you think people would be surprised to know about her? And I forget the exact answer, but it's the same thing. It's things everybody knows about her. She couldn't think of 3 things about herself that's not common knowledge.
I could think of one off the top of my head. Kamala likes to cook.
That actually might have come up.
See, that's something most people probably don't know about her. But you'll notice a sparkle in her eye when she talks about cooking.
I would agree with you if she hadn't have made that part of her early campaign.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still, I mean, a sister, a prosecutor, and a stepmom. That's the most basic, superficial, boring nonsense. Like, does she like to watch mystery shows? She's obsessed with reality TV. There's got to be something equally superficial that she hasn't bothered to mention yet, or is she really that empty of a vessel? If she was like back on Zeta Reticuli, then I would be like, whoa, what?
It was just insane, and I can't believe she couldn't come up with an answer. That was so bad. We need to turn to the Atlantic real quick because this is fucked up, Jack. Trump, I need the kind of generals that Hitler had. The Republican nominee's preoccupation with dictators and his disdain for the American military is deepening. Quite the opening there, isn't it? In April 2020, Vanessa Gillian, a 20-year-old Army private, was bludgeoned to death by a fellow soldier at Fort Hood in Texas. The killer, aided by his girlfriend, burned Gillian's body. Gillian's remains were discovered 2 months later, buried in a riverbank near the base after a massive search. Gillian, the daughter of Mexican immigrants, he hates the Mexicans.
No.
Grew up in Houston, and her murder sparked outrage across Texas and beyond. Fort Hood had become known as a particularly perilous assignment for female soldiers, and members of Congress took up the cause of reform. Shortly after her remains were discovered, President Donald Trump himself invited the Gillian family to the White House. And I'm sure I'm saying their name wrong because they have a weird accent in there. I'm not being disrespectful here. It's just I'm an American and I can't pronounce names anyway. With Gillian's mother seated beside him, Trump spent 25 minutes with the family as television cameras recorded the scene. In the meeting, Trump maintained a dignified posture and expressed sympathies to Gillian's mother. I saw what happened to your daughter, Vanessa, who was a spectacular person and respected and loved by everybody, including the military. Later in the conversation, he made a promise. If I can help you out with the funeral, I'll help. I'll help you out with that, he said. I'll help you out financially. I'll help you. Natalie Kawam, the family's attorney, responded, I think the military will be taking care of it. Trump replied, good. They'll do a military. That's good. If you need help, I'll help you out. Later, a reporter covering the meeting asked Trump, have you offered to do that for other families before? And he responded, I have. Personally, I have to do it personally. I can't do it through government. The reporter then asked, so you've written checks for helping other families with this? Trump turned to the family still present and said, I have, because some families need help. Maybe you don't need help from a financial standpoint. I have no idea. I just think it's a horrific thing that happened to you. And if you did need help, I'll be there to help you. What a prick. His deep,
what the problem here is. This makes him look really good.
His deepening. Oh, don't worry. They have a point.
Oh,
this is deepening hatred of the military.
Yeah. And brown people.
A public memorial service was held in Houston 2 weeks after the White House meeting. It was followed by a private funeral and a burial in a local cemetery attended by, among others, the mayor of Houston and the city's police chief. Am I the only one that gets a little grossed out by that?
Well, it's shameless political stunts.
Yeah, I get that
it's chief go.
I get that it's expected these days, so I don't necessarily blame the politicians for it. Because if the mayor didn't show up, people would be like, how come the mayor didn't show up to show his support? But it's a blatantly political thing. You can send your condolences.
Yeah.
No, everybody has to attend every time someone dies.
That's fucking gross. No.
It is. I think it's so nasty.
Real quick. Thank you, Circus Zero. Surprised to learn about her. They are actually biological women. I'm not convinced on Liz Cheney, but I'm willing to believe that Kamala is a woman. Thank you, Cirque.
She's at least got a vagina on her neck.
Yeah.
5 months later, the Secretary of the Army, Ryan McCarthy, announced the results of an investigation. McCarthy cited numerous leadership failures at Fort Hood and relieved or suspended several officers, including the base commanding general. In a press conference, McCarthy said that the murder shocked our conscience and forced us to take a critical look at our systems, our policies, and ourselves. According to a person close to Trump at the time,
That's vague.
Stephen Miller tweeted out just before we went live. It's amazing how Jeffrey Goldstein has been in that's who wrote this, has been a reporter for decades and can't get a single source to go on record.
Yeah.
It is amazing. Anyway, according to a person close to Trump at the time, the president was agitated by McCarthy's comments and raised questions about the severity of the punishments dispersed to senior officers and non-commissioned officers. No proof of this. And as the commander-in-chief, he could have overrode it. But he totally said this thing, just like when he was with Millie at the cemetery. In an Oval Office meeting on December 4th, 2020, officials gathered to discuss a separate national security issue. Toward the end of the discussion, Trump asked for an update on the McCarthy investigation. Christopher Miller, the acting Secretary of Defense, Trump had fired his predecessor, Mark Esper, 3 weeks earlier, writing in a tweet, "Mark Esper has been terminated," was in attendance, along with Miller's chief of staff, Kash Patel. At a certain point, according to two people present at the meeting, he just named two people at the meeting, but he's not attributing this to them. Okay. Trump asked, did they bill us for the funeral? What did it cost? According to attendees and to contemporaneous notes of the meeting taken by a participant, an aide answered, "Yes, we received a bill. The funeral cost $60,000.
Bullshit.
Trump became angry. It doesn't cost $60,000 to bury a fucking Mexican.
He's not wrong.
It doesn't cost $60,000 to bury a king. He turned to his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and issued an order, "Don't pay it." Later that day, he was still agitated. "Can you believe it?" he said, according to a witness. "Fucking people trying to rip me off." If they billed him $60,000 for a funeral, they absolutely were trying to rip him off.
Yeah, 110%.
Funerals cost these days, what, about 10 grand now? Anyway.
It depends if you get cremated or buried, but like 10 grand, 12 grand for burials, not out of line.
60 is like burying a family of Mexicans.
You could bury an entire family for probably half that in a major city.
Yeah. Quam, the family attorney, told me she sent the bill to the White House, but no money was. Why was the lawyer? Never mind. Maybe they're just handling the bills. But no money ever was received by the family from Trump. Some of the costs, Quam said, were covered by the Army, which offered, she said, to allow Gillian to be buried at Arlington. I don't believe that at all.
I don't believe that either. Arlington has a limited number of spots, and she wasn't like a Bronze Star or Silver Star or anything. She was murdered. Yeah. That's horrible, but I'm not buying that.
The only way they offered that was for a PR move, because Arlington has very specific requirements.
Yeah.
And with the limited space, if you didn't die in combat, chances are you're not going to Arlington. Some of the costs, she said, were covered by the Army, and some were covered by donations. Ultimately, Gillian was buried in Houston. Shortly after I emailed a series of questions to a Trump spokesperson, Alex Pfeffer, I received an email from Kawam, who asked me to publish a statement from Mara Gillian. Mayra Gillian, Vanessa's sister. Pfeffer then emailed me the same statement. Quote, this is the girl's sister, the dead girl's sister. "I am beyond grateful for all the support President Donald Trump showed our family during a trying time. I witnessed firsthand how President Trump honors our nation's heroes' service. We are grateful for everything he has done and continues to do to support our troops. Pfeiffer told me he did not write that statement and emailed me a series of denials. According to Trump, regarding Trump's fucking Mexican comment, Pfeiffer wrote, President Donald Trump never said that. That's an outrageous lie from the Atlantic 2 weeks before an election. Now, I just want to point out that they just gave the impression that that statement came from the Trump campaign, that it was made up, because it was part of his series of denials, Jack. Well, you know the great thing about social media, Jack?
What's that?
Almost everybody is on there, including Mayra.
Oh,
She responded to the article being tweeted out by The Atlantic. Wow, I don't appreciate how you're exploiting my sister's death for politics. Hurtful and disrespectful to the important changes she made for service members. President Donald Trump did nothing but show respect for my family and Vanessa. In fact, I voted for President Trump today.
nice.
Dangerous, I did see it, and I will get it in just a moment, my friend. I just didn't want to break up that particular part of it because I wanted to get all of the reading in with her statement.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Those people, Jeffrey Goldberg, you are a fucking disgusting human being.
Absolutely. That's fucking evil. Wait, Democrats love to stand on dead bodies to get a point across.
When you reached out to Trump for this and his spokesperson came back with this statement from Mayra, sorry. I can't say Mexican names. Did you think of reaching out and talking to her?
Why would
No?
they want to do that?
Fuck, man. Thank you, Dangerous. Holy shit, how fucking stupid do you have to be when you can't answer questions about your own biography? Did Maria ask Kamala about how she felt when Doug fucked the help? She can relate. Fair enough. And no, she didn't. She didn't ask any real questions. It was almost identical to the shit we did watch yesterday from the Fat Miss Piggy looking bitch.
Yeah.
It was just with a skinny Skeletor looking bitch instead. Yeah, I saw this and I'm like, how do you look at yourself as a person when you do something, when you write something so fucking disgusting?
Because it's for the greater good. They're saving the country, maybe the world, monkey. This is a hero. Think of how many people's lives have been saved by keeping Orange Man out of office. Sure, a couple lies, but it's for the greater good. That's how they think.
I just want to read this other sentence from the beginning of a paragraph, about 2 paragraphs down. The personal qualities displayed by Trump in his reaction to the cost of the Gillian funeral, contempt, rage, parsimony, racism, hardly surprised his inner circle.
Got any names on that one?
No, of course not. Because it's people familiar with the matter, sources close to Trump.
Yeah.
2 people who were in the room who aren't the people that I just named being in the room. It's like, fuck, man.
It's like they're not even trying.
It's so disgusting. Oh, we need to watch that Biden video. Which one is that?
I think it's the first one.
I could click on both of them. Shit.
Oh.
I'm so lazy. I'm sorry, dude.
I don't care.
I'm sorry, honey.
No problem, sweetie. Thank you, Frosted Glass. It doesn't count. Doesn't cost that much to bury a Mexican. Did Trump really say that? That that man needs Jesus. Jesus Rodriguez. He's a Mexican guy out in front of my local Home Depot. He'll bury anyone for $10 in a Corona. Sorry, I butchered that, but thank you, Frosted.
Yeah, when you said he needs Jesus, I can't even read what you're reading. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Jesus.
Yeah, I forgot who sent it for a second. I'm like, Frosted wouldn't do it. Jesus. Okay, he did.
Doesn't cost that much to bury a Mexican. Come on. That one's not even believable
No.
because there's no reason to specify Mexican there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm surprised that it says that doesn't cost that much to bury a dirty Mexican woman.
Yeah, it's so generically evil. That's like how somebody on the left that doesn't ever talk to anybody on the right thinks right wingers talk.
Yes, exactly. It's like a caricature from Saturday Night Live. It's not funny and it's not even accurate.
Yeah. Thank you, JB. The show Like a Dragon Yakuza starts on October 24th on Amazon Prime, and it looks like it'll be awesome. It looks like it'll be its own universe and not just a retelling of the first Yakuza game. A nice palate cleanser if anyone needs it. Oh, I'll look into it. Is that an anime? Because if it's an anime, I'm not going to watch it.
I know Yakuza the game. I'm haven't played it. I'm not real familiar with the storyline of it and everything. It's kind of a GTA kind of game.
Yeah, I've heard good things, but I've never played it.
I heard good things except for the last one, which apparently was just a disaster. Anyway, yeah, it must be based on the game. Gotcha. Promise not an anime. Fair enough.
Oh, okay. I'll look into it.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm not insulting him. I don't watch cartoons unless the kids are here, but I don't watch TV unless, I'm going to bed. I just don't watch that much TV anymore.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't even own a TV anymore. I do everything online.
And as much shit as I give anime, I'm not one of those people like, cartoons are only for kids. The reason we watch it when the kids are over is because they do tend to like the cartoon movies. I watch a lot of live action stuff with Little Butts. She's gotten old enough where she likes a lot of live action stuff. I have nothing against cartoons. The Little Mermaid, the original Disney cartoon, is still one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. I just don't watch it very often because I don't watch TV that often. All right. I watched this clip earlier, Jack, and I was like, where's he going with this? What is he getting at? And then I was at the end, I was like, yeah, I should have seen that coming. I like to give the audience something to look forward to. Keldrick, thank you. I know some Mexicans who would bury their own abuela for a beer and a couple tacos. We all have our price, and I would have buried my grandmother for free.
You hated that bitch, though.
In fairness, she hated me first.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I get it.
How are you mean to a child over something they never... Fuck that bitch. I'm glad she's in hell. Anyway, here's Biden, and he wants to tell us about the dangers of Donald Trump. Does Little Butt shout at you for calling her Little Butt? No, but I don't call her that to her anymore. Most of the time I call her Mini Munchk because I've always called my daughter Munchkin, and she is the spitting image of her mother. I've always thought they looked alike, Jack, but just in a strange set of coincidences, a picture of Little Butt ended up underneath or hanging from a magnet on the fridge that is a magnet with a picture of my daughter on it. And I saw their two faces that close together. My daughter cloned herself, which just goes to my point that my daughter's still a virgin, even with now soon to be 3 kids.
Yeah, she's like an amoeba. She just separated part of herself off, and that became a child.
How about Grand Monkey? I actually call I don't call any of them Grand Monkey anymore. I might do it if they were on the stream or something. They are the Grand Monkeys, but there's several of them now, so it's not right to just call one of them Grand Monkey.
Now it's a band.
Yes. Can't even call them like 4 non-blondes because they're all blonde.
Oh, how very Hitlerian of you.
5 female Aryans. That's going to be their band name. All right.
Bizarre. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up.
Oh, this doesn't have the beginning of it. He says that Trump says he's going to kill people he doesn't like. That's what where he said that, where he says, if I said that 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. Because he just told a fucking lie about what Trump said.
I don't doubt that he believes that that's what Trump said, because that's what the Easter Bunny whispered in his ear when the Easter Bunny was tucking him in that night.
Perhaps, yeah. The Easter Bunny told me when he was helping me find my house, I didn't realize it was the big building right in front of me.
That's my house. I live here.
Ebony, thank you. I just saw the headline about Tulsi Gabbard joining the Republican Party. Thoughts? Not many on it. I would tell you to just go watch where we talked about it, but it was so short I couldn't even give you a kind of time frame. So to reiterate, I think the Overton window has shifted enough that it makes sense that she's gone to the Republican Party, and the Democrats have gotten so single-minded. I mean, they are a shared conscience at this point. You're not allowed to disagree. And we have to remember that Tulsi's disagreement, they didn't disagree on like policy and stuff about, taking people's guns or any of the other liberal shit. It was that she didn't want to kill people in other countries. And the Democrats back in 2016 were like, that fucking bitch. Because if you remember in 2016, Hillary was dying to go into Syria.
Yep. She wanted a war with Russia.
She did. She wanted to put a no-fly zone in Syria, where the Russians had already been and were helping out Assad, which would have eventually led to us and Russia having direct conflict. And Tulsi was like, I don't think we should be getting involved in everybody else's messes. And they went, whore. So, go ahead.
It's amazing how the party that detested George Bush for getting us into the Iraq war is now wanting to get us playing in that same sandbox.
Except they never did. They never disagreed with Bush on going into Iraq. They disagreed with Bush being the one to do it.
Yeah, well, of course. But that was always their stated goals was, we shouldn't be in this war, yet they all voted for the war.
Yep. And like,
Even
no, we
Hillary.
have plausible deniability because we said if he wants to do it, he can, but we thought he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Well,
it's horrible what he's doing over there. Oh my God.
Yeah. You see, a member of the U.S. government leaked Israeli secrets. We'll get to that in just a little bit, Pyrus. But anyway, yeah, so Joe Biden here is talking about locking up Donald Trump because of his own Easter Bunny thoughts about Donald Trump saying he was going to kill Americans. Why is it okay to be out there like, we need to lock up our political opponents?
What lawfare? What are you talking about?
I think I found the 40-second clip reposted by Prospero. It is, I mean, do we want to watch the full thing? Nah, we can. Would you drop that clip into chat there, Bubba, if anybody wants to see the full clip? Because he does talk about how locking people up is done in political opponents is done in other countries. And then it's like, but Trump says he wants to actually kill people. No, he didn't. Shut up. Anyway, getting to the story that Pyrus just brought up. Did you see that shit, Jack?
I heard they were looking for the leaker, but I hadn't heard that it was an actual person of power here.
Yeah, and apparently this isn't the first time she's done it. Her name is Ariane Tabatbai.
That sounds very Middle Eastern.
She was originally born in Iran.
What?
Shocking,
I'm so shocked.
When I first saw the picture, I thought it was an older picture of Rashida Tlaib.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This is being reported out of, I want to say Saudi Arabia, but I might be wrong on that. This is not, last I knew, that was, oh no, you know what? I did look right before the show. The American press has started picking up on it, but very quietly. Because there was a story that the Biden Israeli leak is getting worse for Biden, which would be true if they were actually covering it. If this happened under Trump, oh dear Lord.
Yeah, this would be a huge scandal.
Is that a woman? Yes, this is a woman who claimed that when Iran shot down the Ukrainian plane, that Iran immediately came out and admitted their mistake, completely omitting that for 3 days she blamed, or that Iran blamed the United States and Canada for it.
Yep.
But don't worry. She's a trustworthy source that the Biden administration hired as a, I believe she's like an attaché or some stupid shit like that. Dangerous, thank you. Journalism 101. You get comments from all sides. Kash Patel was named in the meeting. When you only seek comments to bash Trump, it's not journalism. Who knows if Pfeiffer was even at the meeting? Well, saying that Kash Patel was there is irrelevant to the story unless he's the one that was making or that said these comments.
Well, they didn't even say if they reached out to him for comment.
No, they just name drop it like anybody gives a shit who all was at the meeting. And why would you only name 2 of the people at the meeting instead of naming all of them if you're going to do that?
Because then people will be able to go ask everybody that was at the meeting.
Right.
And they'd all be like, that was never happened.
But anyway, yeah, so this is not the first time that lady has, she actually got suspended for, I don't want to say a similar breach, but a similar kind of issue.
Why isn't she in handcuffs?
Look, we're not allowed to say what I believe should happen, but I do wish there was a time when we still Rosenberged people for traitors, for being traitors.
Yeah, this is a massive security betrayal. Edward Snowden had to flee the country just out of fear of what might be done.
Yep, and
what
he was
did
actually
nowhere near this.
And he was actually blowing the whistle on some shit that needed the whistle blown on some corrupt shit going on in our government.
Yeah.
This bitch just went, the Israelis got a plan to attack Iran. Here, have it.
That is providing aid and comfort to the enemy, because Iran is still a terrorist state, despite what the press would have us believe.
She didn't betray U.S. security. Yes, she did. Those were top secret U.S. government documents.
Yeah, those were documents given to us. They were under our control. And my understanding is she leaked to the U.S. documents that were talking about the paperwork that was given to us, and had the other information in it. So, either way, maybe, turn it over to the Israelis.
Not to mention stoking even more anger at the U.S. I mean, the Biden administration loves to talk about the bombs that were dropped near U.S. soldiers. This is clear collusion between our two governments. Everybody knows it goes on, but clear. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, look, the U.S. knows that they're going to go and attack them. So I want to point out DC Isaac says, agreed, sometimes you just got to Roy Cohn the Rosenbergs. True. They weren't traitors. It's not what the Russians said.
Yeah.
We did mention this earlier, but Trump will be on Rogan's show this Friday, or at least that's when they were taping it. I'm assuming they're going to show it all live and everything like they normally do.
Probably.
Oh God. Yeah, we got to watch a little Tim Walz here because fuck.
Come here. You already made me watch a little Tim Walz.
I know, but this one's even better. Okay, it's not better because the other one he accidentally calls himself a dipshit. Here he proves it. He's on the Daily Show with occasional host Jon Stewart. I still don't know why he came back, and he does it every now and then. You can't recapture the magic you had then. One, all of your writers are gone.
Yeah, you're not funny anymore.
Yeah. But wait, look, it's their money. But they decided to have Timmy Walz on, and this happened.
And I do this. I believe this.
Yeah.
There is still a core group of folks out there, your point being, and not joke, the don't tread on me, the Reagan piece of this, the libertarian piece, but the constitutional piece.
Yes.
There are a lot of people out there. I think I think Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney give permission to those folks who want to find a reason to do the right thing.
Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney supporting Kamala gives you guys permission to support her too.
It gives the libertarians.
The libertarians and the Reaganites. Are you fucking with me?
Sure, Tim. Sure, you fucking idiot. What is with this guy in the word folks? Do they really think that makes him sound relatable? Because he says it a lot.
I used to say it a lot, and then George Bush said it all the time, so I've cut way back, but I do say folks a lot still.
You don't say it anywhere near what Tim Walz says.
If John doesn't tear him a new one over Dick Cheney, he's a total coward. I have not seen any more of the interview than this, but I mean, you can see their discussion there. Does John look all that upset? No, because this is politics, and as long as they're on my side, the warmonger's fine. Libertarians and Reaganites, are you insane?
Gives them permission. Like, I need Dick Cheney's permission to do anything.
Yeah. All the Cheney thing shows me is that, yeah, Kamala's a warmonger, which we knew.
Yeah, I mean, what's next? John Bolton going to come out and endorse her? Oh,
wait. Pyra says, hilariously, actual justice warrior, Sean, who stops by the chat from time to time, will be debating someone who thinks libertarians should vote for Kamala.
I gotta watch that.
For the record, I don't call him Sean because we're like good friends or anything, but that's his name on Twitter. And so that's just in my mind how his name is. So that's a tick in my brain that I have to do. So if you guys hear me say Sean, that's actual justice warrior here on YouTube. On Twitter, I believe it's Sean Fitzgerald, I think is what it is.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like all Irish, man. He's got the Sean spelling and the Fitzgerald name. Like, next thing you know, he's killing women in a pool that he crawled out of to call a lawyer.
That's oddly specific.
Real Irish American. That's what I'm getting at. Thank you, Ultranaut. Thanks, Cheney. Got my license to vote Kamala in the mail today. And there you go. There you go.
It looks like a spent shotgun shell. There's blood all over it from someone's face.
We get it, Monkey. You have famous friends. No, I don't. I really don't. And every time they come close to getting one, they do something to ruin their whole career. So the real story is not don't hang out with Jim. It's don't talk to Monkey. Because every time you do, your career just tanks.
That's why
Seriously.
I started out with no career. So nowhere to go but up.
The number of people that I've talked to who had a decent following and a decent career going, and then it all fell apart from them is amazing.
See, I called bullshit on that. Let me call Lauren Chen to verify.
In fairness, there was a separation in that one. Anyhow, I'm really trying to put off having to listen to Kamala.
Thank you, Keldrig. Well, if Dick Cheney thinks I should do it, well, then I should probably do the other thing. Yeah, I agree.
Be careful. He might shoot you in the face.
Yeah, don't go on hunting trips with him. Your face looked like a pheasant.
Oh, I don't know if we can talk about this one in depth. The first one we can because it's the Kamala plagiarism thing, which we already talked about. But there's a thing underneath it that says voters in Tarrant County, Texas are reporting that voting machines are flipping their votes.
Yes, there's been talk of that in Maricopa as well in Arizona.
We're on YouTube, so we got to be careful on that one because who knows what their rules are going to be tomorrow. Let's just say that's something to keep an eye on, guys.
Yeah, that's a point of interest.
And look, again, I mean, we talked about the one in Antrim County. It is possible that a stupid mistake that absolutely should be caught gets missed. So I'm not saying any interference or anything, YouTube. I'm saying sometimes mistakes are made. A lot. a whole lot with addresses in the middle of the street. But
malice aforethought.
right, yeah. Gee, how surprising. Yeah, I'm not. I want to be shocked by things like that, but I just can't be.
It's hard. It's hard to be.
And again, to me, it's even worse if it's a mistake, because at least there's malice on the other side. If it's intentional and I can understand malice, I cannot forgive incompetency, especially after the last election. How are you not making sure everything is working exactly as it should? Anyhow, fuck, after the 2000 election, how can you not make sure everything? Pregnant Chads. That was my favorite of all the terms, because you had the hanging Chads, but the pregnant Chads were my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. I've dicked around long enough. Let's give our dick to this lady. Everybody else has. Sorry, I said that out loud.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Everybody heard it.
Kamala Harris, full interview. Absolutely, the country is ready for a woman to be president. That's the full title of this video posted over on NBC. I can't speak for everybody. I think the country as a whole could be ready for a female president, but not this one. It's the same thing with Clinton. A woman could win, not these two. And that's what they can't get through their head. You can't just throw up any old woman. Don't you want the first woman president to be somebody that you can actually look up to and be proud of for being more than split in the middle? I'm just saying. No, just grab any old whore. And Kamala, and I heard my name?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, this did come out today, her day off, but it wasn't recorded today. This is a pre-recorded video.
Oh, I'm shocked, which means heavily edited.
Your time.
I'm glad to be with you. Thank you.
We were just talking about the campaign trail yesterday and these key Rust Belt battlegrounds, as they call them, talking with undecided voters. You are reaching out that olive branch to these voters. You want to bring them on board.
Unless they like Jesus. The undecided voters, you want to bring them on board. I'm stopping mostly. This is a dumbass question already. Everybody wants the undecided voters. Because you win by getting the most voters.
Yeah, but now they have permission from Dick Cheney to vote for her.
Shit, I forgot about that.
That's what they were really waiting on, is like, will Dick Cheney allow this?
Them, for so many voters, we know that a huge issue for them is the economy.
Right.
It's the cost of living. I've been on the campaign trail. I hear that in the field again and again. You look at some of the numbers on this, and our new NBC News poll shows that more voters think that the Biden administration policies have hurt them rather than helped them.
That is not a new poll thing. This has literally been going on the whole campaign. Trump has been ahead on the question of who is better for the economy, Trump or the entire time. This new poll came out and it says they don't trust you guys. No, it said that the whole time. Is this the first poll you've ever fucking read?
Monkey, you have to remember they still treat January 6th like it happened a week ago. So
fair.
Linear time means nothing to them.
And I wonder, are the last 4 years an obstacle to you in this race?
Here's how I look.
She is unburdened by the past.
Unless it burdens her somehow.
I just want to point out, I have not watched this. I've only seen a clip, and it turns out the clip that I've seen is this opening question. So is the last 4 years an obstacle to you is the question. I'm not even going to fuck around and ask you guys if you think she's going to answer or not, because we all know.
I wonder, are the last 4 years an obstacle to you in this race?
Here's how I look at it. First of all, Let me be very clear. Mine will not be a continuation of the Biden administration.
She didn't say it was gonna be. She asked you if the Biden administration was an obstacle for you.
That would be a yes if you're trying to distance yourself like this.
God damn.
Bring my own experiences, my own ideas to it. And it has informed a number of my areas of focus, most of which are, on to your point, lowering costs. I am traveling the country. I am very clear. Cost of groceries still too high. The voters know it. I know it.
Funny because y'all were bragging about the economy just a couple weeks ago. Madam Vice President, you speak to the president often. Why aren't you out there pushing this to him, being like, we got to fix this shit? You would think that would be what she would be busy doing, Jack. That she would say, I have talked to Biden about this over and over, and that old motherfucker won't listen to me, so I need to get in there and do it.
What this really needed was the role of president is great, but it will be perfect when a woman fits in it.
When that suit fits a woman.
Yeah, if she had said that, I would have at least laughed. Like, you're stealing from Batwoman now. Good job.
So the question is the last 4 years an obstacle? Groceries are still too high. My staff told me to say that. I don't buy my own groceries, but my little Mexican maid that Donald Trump doesn't want to pay too much to bury, she told me that it's expensive when she gets there.
Oh, it's very expensive. Go away, Consuela. My name is Maria. Whatever, Consuela.
All Mexican women should be named Consuela. I'm not saying they are, but they should be, because it's a great name.
It is. It's a beautiful name. I love Spanish names. They are amazing.
I used to like the name Maria until I first saw Maria Shriver. And I'm like, ugh.
She kind of did ruin it for a generation, didn't she?
She looks like a skeleton.
Yeah, I mean, I already think she's kind of hot. It's fine, but she's old now. And after a while, really skinny bitches look kind of Skeletor-ish, and it's a turnoff. You guys got a shelf date. That's what I'm saying.
I wanted to talk about this at the top of the show. For anybody out there, news, if you watch this, I know you won't. Yes, I absolutely adjusted the coloring on the thumbnail. I lightened it up on purpose because when you lighten skin, it tends to make people look more tired.
Oh, yeah.
And then I realized how fucked up that is for all us white people. We naturally look more tired than everyone else. That's fucked up.
It's why everybody keeps offering me a Snickers bar. They're like, you're not yourself when you're tired and grumpy.
Why being white got to make you look tired? It's not fair, Jack.
I'll take it up with Yakub when I see him.
All right. Where are we at?
So part of my plan includes what we need to do to bring down the price of groceries, including the work I will do dealing with price gouging.
Shortages.
Yeah.
Which always make price. When you limit supply, it helps lower cost.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's simple supply and no demand.
Yeah. Seriously, somebody buy this woman a copy of Economics in One Lesson. This is so stupid. Obviously, her dad was a Marxist economist. But this is so out of touch with reality.
Maniac Man says, I didn't order this word salad. Remember, this is verbal diarrhea. Salad has nutritional value. Just saying. Stop giving it. This is just shit coming out of her mouth.
To bring down the price of groceries, including the work I will do dealing with price gouging, something I dealt with when I was Attorney General, something I will deal with going forward. Cost of housing.
You notice she's never given an actual example. And I got to give credit to Megyn Kelly on this because I hadn't even paid attention. But like right here, it's something I did as Attorney General. She's never given a specific case. Anytime she talks about I took on the transnational cartels. Which one? What did you specifically do?
You've never heard of them. They went to another school.
It's her Canadian cases.
Yeah.
Ragnar, thank you. When people are hungry, clearly they want less food. It's just that's how it works.
They deserve less because they're taken from those who don't have food.
Price gouging, she has no idea what she's talking about. Well, in fairness, Maniac, when she says my name's Kamala, she still has no idea what she's talking about.
I'm speaking with people.
Who's interviewing her? Some chick from NBC who, I mean, you could tell at the beginning is a big fan of her. We were hanging out the other day talking about the undecideds.
Something I will deal with going forward. Cost of housing. I'm speaking with people of every background in every area of the country, of every age. And, the idea of the American dream was something that previous generations could count on, not as much anymore. Bringing down the cost of housing by doing what I have done in my career that perhaps is a different approach, which is really actively working with the private sector, for example.
You were a DA, an AG, and a senator. What work did you do with the private sector as an AG? What work did you do with as a DA to bring down housing costs? This is just word salad bull. Oh God, I just said it. God damn you, Maniac. This is just shit pouring out of her mouth.
Well, to be fair, she did keep a lot of people incarcerated, which opened up some apartments, I'm sure.
Yeah, but she was keeping them incarcerated so that she could have cheaper labor for California, which hurt private businesses who would have been competing. Ragnar,
shut up.
Did that come through a second time? Or did I just not scroll down already? Oh, I think I didn't just scroll down. Anyway, back to this crazy, ignorant bitch.
Home builders to create incentives for them to build millions of new homes and housing units. So
When you were DA, AG, and senator, you worked with the private sector to bring down home costs?
How do you prosecute your way to that?
I do not know who was advising this woman, but their advice should just be, if you can't keep it closed, put a dick in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they advise her with good advice and it gets scrambled because she's dumb. And then she twists it around into something completely different.
It's just amazing. Anyway.
Can bring down the cost, including what I will do to give people a $25,000 down payment assistance if they are a first-time home buyer.
You're going to increase the demand and tank our currency even further. That is absolutely guaranteed to bring down the price of housing.
Yeah, well, we all know it's going to be a tax credit, so it's not going to really help many people.
Actually, it depends on which time she says it, because she goes anywhere there's still a tax credit of $10K that she says will be on top of the $25K. So I'm not real sure how it works, but something I learned from P-Dog, because I have not dug into her thing. She says $25,000 for first-time home buyers, right, Jack?
Uh-huh.
It's not. It's $25,000 for first-time home buyers whose lineage has never owned a home.
What?
If your parents own a home, you do not qualify.
I'm going to have to go to a genealogist to find out if I'm allowed to buy a house?
Yeah, don't dig into her thing. Somebody needs to, because there's some crust up in there, I'm positive.
Yeah.
Looks like donut glaze in here.
Slave holding donut glaze.
So these are examples. The example is what I'm going to do to expand the child tax credit, because listen, young parents in particular, they need help. They have a national.
Old parents, you're fine.
Yeah. And I guess Trump's idea was a good one, so she stole it.
All she's doing is talking about spend. Okay, the question, just to remind you guys, is has the last 4 years, is that an obstacle to you in your campaign? Basically, she said everything's fucked up and I have to fix it, but she won't just say yes. This answer could have been less than a second long. Yes. There you go. I gotta fix some shit. This old crappy motherfucker. Have you considered taxing them less? Foreign native. Come on.
Yeah, that's just crazy talk.
Come on.
Desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources. $6,000 extra during the first year of their child's life can help them buy a crib or a car seat or clothes, the things.
It can buy them several cribs, several car seats, and a whole shit ton of clothes. That doesn't seem to be the problem young parents are having. It's food, you fucking retard. You can't even get the wording right for why your own policy would make sense. You always go to this, they don't have the resources to be good parents, so we'll buy them a crib. Like that's the issue. You realize they're babies. You could put them on the floor if you wanted to. They're not going anywhere.
Well, they might. They might
For like
teleport.
the first 4 to 5 months, they're not going anywhere. You just lay them right down on the floor, walk over them. It's fine. The problem that young parents are having is not that they can't get a crib. You can go to a secondhand store, Jack, and pick one up for $50.
Oh yeah, if that much.
They need $6,000 so they can get a really good crib so they'll be good parents. Fuck you. You don't even get the talking point right. How does not having a brand new crib keep you from being a good parent, Jack?
Yeah. I don't know.
By the way, lots of fire departments give away free car seats several times a year.
What?
They might even do that in your own area, so you don't need Kamala's $6,000. Just look into things. Anyway,
Or you could ask around and see if anybody that you know that has kids
mm-hmm.
could give you their old one.
You do have to be careful with that because of different safety standards. I think the shelf life on a car seat is 7 years.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
If you're a young parent, especially, you probably know somebody that's got kids. So,
I'm just saying that if you are going to get a secondhand car seat, do check that, because when I worked at Walmart, you know what the number one item to be recalled was?
Oh, car seats and
Car seats.
high chairs, right?
Car seat. Baby in general, that whole department had like 90% of the recalls, but it was mostly car seats.
Wow.
Anyhow.
That are so crucial to that phase of their child's development. So my plans and my policies are really directed at exactly your point, doing what we must do to bring.
She wasn't making a point. She was asking you a question.
Nope, not anymore. Kamala did not approve of that. Questions are not to be asked. All questions are actually statements meant to be elaborated upon.
I guess I should be impressed that she did pay attention to the statement before the question, but the interesting part there is the question, and she couldn't fucking answer that one. All right, we are 2 minutes into this 22-minute piece of shit. Anybody want to take a guess if she answers any question?
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Thank you, Frosted. Who was the car seat's previous owner? Lindbergh. Way too soon, man. Way too soon.
It's made of wood.
All right.
Can't fly yet.
Bring down the cost of living, but also to help people not just get by, but get ahead. And I'm proud to report to you that economists from Nobel laureates to Goldman Sachs have reviewed my economic plan versus Donald Trump's. And in comparison, have found that my plans will strengthen America's economy. His plans will weaken America's.
She literally just repeats her fucking talking points constantly. How many times have we heard this bitch say this exact line? if you're going to do that, just release a new speech that you gave instead of pretending that it's an interview. Dangerous, thank you. Holy shit. When your idea is a tax credit, that means people need to already have the money. The more I listen, I'll explain in a second, but not exactly Dangerous. The more I listen to these economic illiterates, the more it makes sense why the economy is fucked. You have to understand that here in the US, we have refundable tax credits. Not all tax credits are refundable, but especially when it comes to things like the EIC, which is the earned income credit, or the child tax credit that we do have. If it makes it so your tax is negative, you get the extra back. This is why we tell you that not only do most Americans not pay tax, most Americans don't. They get every dime back. A lot of them get more money back than they ever paid.
Yes.
We don't take care of the poor people. Fuck off. Anyway.
Economy.
Then why do you think that's not landing with voters?
Oh,
Because
but
in
I
the
think it
numbers,
is.
it's the opposite. Former President Trump leads you on this issue.
Well, when I'm out, this is why I'm going out to Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Excuse
Actually, it's funny that she mentions those three because there was an article that came out today, again, unnamed sources, but who said that that Democrats are frustrated with her because with 2 weeks left and her tanking in the polls in the 3 states she just mentioned, she's scheduled to stop in Texas.
That's
Now,
smart.
I think you should still go to Texas, but you can go from Texas to Michigan in the same day.
What?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
This ain't 1776. That's not a 2-week trip anymore.
Oh, that sounds exhausting, monkey.
But her campaign, her party is really pissed off that she's spending time in Texas instead of spending time in specifically those 3 swing states, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. And she's like, that's why I'm going there. How come it's not resonating with voters? I think it is. Then why are your numbers going down? Well, that's why I'm going to Michigan and Wisconsin.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm retarded.
I mean, she didn't exactly answer the question, but it's closer to an answer than we've gotten on almost every other question.
True.
Excuse me, just got in late this morning, actually. But going to 3 states yesterday, and I'm going to continue being on the road. I have to earn the vote. And it means sharing with folks my plan, but also offering them.
We've all heard your plan.
And it's stupid.
You repeating it isn't going to change anything. If I just say the same stupid shit again, they'll love me.
Well, they obviously weren't listening, or the voters are just too dumb to understand.
I have been saying this for literal years now. The more people hear this woman talk, the more they hate her. The best thing her campaign could do is shut her the fuck up. Have her go to rallies and then play a pre-taped video and just have her come out and say, hi, thank you for supporting me, and leave. Because the more she talks, the more people hate her.
It's true.
And it was the lesson of 2019 because she had an amazing launch to her campaign. She raised $40 million. And her dancing, remember when her dancing was rightfully considered weird instead of so brat?
Yeah.
The more she talked, people were like, oh, God, no. I'd rather hit myself in the nuts. Even women were saying that.
What objective analysts have shown to be the contrast between me and Donald Trump. My plans are focused on working people, the middle class, and what we must do to strengthen hardworking people to be able to do.
The middle class can't buy a crib? Can we still call them the middle class at that point?
If that's the middle class, we are in way more fucking trouble than I ever thought.
Isn't a crib like $150 at Walmart?
Yeah, at most, I would think. I'm sure you can find some cheaper ones.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, huh. You can't have it both ways. You're actually trying to aim it at the poor people. That's who you keep talking about. You haven't really talked about giving the middle class anything. if we're being honest, I mean, the people you're talking about are poor people. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, we need to support poor people. I think we already do, but there's nothing wrong with saying that. But she's just throwing, because middle class is the catchy political term.
Yeah.
So she's saying it.
Everybody wants to be middle class.
John, thank you. Why didn't they choose Tulsi if they wanted to beat Trump? Because they don't like Tulsi. She doesn't want to kill people. That's all it boils down to.
Yeah. She's not warmongering enough.
Yeah, and Tulsi wouldn't have beaten Trump. I agree, ham and beans.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Do what they dream and aspire to be able to do. His plans are about giving tax cuts, massive tax cuts to billionaires and big corporations.
Yeah, last time he did that, you guys said that it was going to hurt everybody, and we had record employment for Asians, near record for black people. Employment so low that the way that the economics is done, when it gets that low, you basically consider it full employment. That son of a bitch wants to do it again.
Yeah, prosperity? Fuck you. No. Haha, suckers.
He wants you to be able to afford your own crib. I'm going to give you money so you don't have to.
I'm going to give you free government handouts that always come with strings. How about them, huh? How about that? You like that, don't you?
It won't be a crib. It'll be a crib product.
It'll be a crib-like product, yeah.
It's a cheese joke for those of you out there who didn't get it.
So-called plan for the economy, economists have estimated will exacerbate inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. So this.
The same economists who said that Biden's plan wouldn't cause inflation and then massively did, and you're talking about doing the same thing, spending a shit ton of money we don't have. But this time it'll be different. I don't mean to, be an asshole here, but most economists are just politicians. The ones that they get their name in the paper, and the Nobel laureates like Paul Krugman, they're just politicians, and they will change their mind on what the economy will or won't do based on who they support to be president. It goes on the left and the right. And there are some fundamental parts of economics that you can point to, supply and demand, for instance, Jack. But most of economics is made up bullshit. It is not a hard science. It is a soft science, just like psychology, and you can make it say whatever the fuck you want it to.
What?
Anyway.
There's a huge difference between he and I.
Let me ask you about something that you said when you were running for president the last time around, back in 2019. At the time, you said that the elephant in the room was whether the country was ready for a woman and a woman of color to be president. So let me ask you, as you sit here today, do you think the country is ready now for a woman and a woman of color to be president?
Absolutely.
Just not you. This is such a meaningless question. Do you think the country's ready for this? Like we're all going, oh my God, I don't know if I could take a woman president. Okay, there are some people who are like that, but the majority are not.
Just not ready yet.
The majority of people don't care about you being a woman. I mean, we all know that's the only reason you have your job. It sure as fuck isn't because of you being qualified or competent.
No.
But it's always like, oh my God, do you think they're ready for a woman of color to be president? One, I want the first woman president to be Tiger Woods levels of interbred.
So Asian.
I want Asian and black and white and Hispanic, maybe a little Eskimo, throw in an Abo or two. I want all of the groups covered in one.
Yeah,
and
get it over with.
I want them to be cripple. I want them to have a slight speech impediment. I want them to have been a part of every religion that has ever existed. I want all of the first shit out of the way the first time.
They have to also suffer from like a weird paranoia, like fear of clowns or something, so that they could get mental health in there too.
Yes. And fuck it, make them a furry. They walk around with a tail all the time. I'm fine with it. Just get it done. Because I'm sick of, do you think they're ready for the. Shut the fuck up. Ask a relevant question. Nobody cares about it being a woman. Do you think they're ready for a fucking socialist who wants to give away all the money?
I'm not ready for that. No.
Me neither. Full Metal Joker, thank you. The fuck is she on about? With my time working at Walmart, the issue wasn't buying cribs, diapers, car seats, and so on. The issue was food and formula. Yeah, formula is expensive as shit.
Yeah, it is.
You don't know how many times I winced when I see how much everything cost when I checked receipts. Oh God, yeah. It's look, people are willing to pay to, make sure their baby gets to eat, and companies definitely make sure you do. Anyhow.
Absolutely. And I am seeing that in terms of every walk of life of our country. I think part of what is important in this election is really not only turning the page, but closing the page and the chapter on an era that's.
Somebody really needs to tell her, if you don't have anything to say, you don't have to keep talking.
No, I'm fine with it.
The answer was yes. I think they're ready for, and guys, we got a direct answer. She's making it indirect now, but she answered a yes or no question with a yes. Closing the page. She's not smart, USP. Is this record broken? In fairness, I haven't heard her be asked this one, so this is a new answer for me. But she can't even answer a direct question directly when she gives a direct answer. I think the important part of the thing that I'm thinking in America on Saturdays when Tim Pool can see the sunrise, stuff and pork and beans. Thank you, Dangerous Spaces. New York Times 2019. Face it, you probably got a tax cut. You and Joe want those tax cuts to expire. By the way, Goldman Sachs said Kamala's my plan good, Trump's plan bad talking point is total bullshit. No, she's told us that Goldman Sachs, she has specifically mentioned Goldman Sachs and said that they said her plan was great. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, you don't need enough money. She's gonna say how awesome you are.
That face she's making right there. You think you're not going to pay me?
Suggest that Americans are divided. What I know from personal experience, from lived experience, and from my travels, even most recently, the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. And
when you surround yourself only with people who agree with you, it's going to seem that way. Now, in reality, I do agree with that statement. Most of us have way more in common than we have differences with each other. But that's not what she's talking about here. She's talking about, like, everybody thinks I'm wonderful. I went out to my campaign rally and they all told me that. They all cheered when I brought out celebrities. Everybody loves me. That's what I've learned on the road.
It's true.
Except for those damn Christians.
Well, they're not welcome at her rally, so.
Do you think if she loses, the Christians will get the blame?
I mean, that's a possibility, honestly.
Did you see that Tim Pool did a stream 4 hours ago after wanting to quit yesterday? In fairness, he didn't say he actually was quitting, but I'm not shocked by that. He likes money. Somebody told me that he was becoming a dad. I don't know how true that is, but if he is, I do wonder if it's going to pop out with a beanie.
I don't know, but he'll take it skateboarding everywhere.
If he is, in all seriousness, congratulations to him and the chick. And don't fuck it up, Tim. Learn to be a man because it's about time.
I mean,
I'm just
I'm gonna
saying.
keep my mouth shut on this one.
I don't have any ill will towards him. Like, I hope that fucker never has kids. But it's time to man up. Especially with the shit you were whining about yesterday. My employees won't do what they're supposed. Fire them and be a fucking man. I can't be the CEO and sign to have a big screen TV. Be a fucking man, dude. Congratulations, man up.
What the American people want in their president is a president for all Americans, which is the type and kind of president I pledge to be. This is my life's work. As you know, I started as a prosecutor. I never.
Were you on the defendant's side? You can't be all things to all people, sweetie.
Yes, you can. Just ask her.
Whoever's president is the president for all Americans. Doesn't mean all Americans support him. I promise to be my president for all of you. I don't want your tax scheme. Well, then not you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Didn't you hear me tell you what the Nobel laureate said? You mean the guy over there eating his ear hair?
Ew. That's a visual. Thank
A
you for
victim.
that.
It took me 3 months for my baby's diaper to get changed.
I signed one of my people to it and they didn't do it.
God damn it, dangerous. Oh. I just get tired of this nonsense. And look, Trump has done it too. I'm going to unite. You can't. Don't. It's one thing to say I'm going to do what I think is best for everybody because that's my job as president. But can we stop with the bullshit? Nobody's going to believe that everything Kamala's doing is the right thing for everybody and that we're all just going to be on board because she's going to be the sweetest, nicest person ever. Fuck, Bill Clinton had like unbelievable favorability ratings and even half the country hated him. He's a nice guy, I guess, and he's doing a good job as president, but fuck that guy.
He tries to rape people.
Of crime, a witness to crime, are you a Republican or Democrat? The only thing I ever ask them is, are you okay? And that's what the American.
I feel like you really should have asked defendants more than, are you okay? I'm not wrong on that. I think you should have asked witnesses more than, are you okay? I didn't ask them if they witnessed a crime. Then I feel like you weren't doing your job as a prosecutor. Because that's literally what you should have been asking them.
That and are you a witch? That seems like an important one.
Are you okay? It's such a dumbass thing to say. It's one of those things that if you don't put any thought into it, like, oh my God, she's so thoughtful. She wanted to make sure everybody was okay. So she let criminals go because she didn't want to ask the fucking witnesses if they witnessed a crime?
Well, if they weren't okay, then you can't call them, right? That's
Jesus Christ.
They just want to speak their truth, monkey.
This woman's a fucking idiot, man. And she's really close to being president.
Shockingly close. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, look, right now Trump wins, but we're 2 weeks away and it's close enough that she could turn it around.
Yeah, there's always time for shenanigans.
Yep.
People want to know, regardless of their race, regardless of their gender or their age, they want to know that they have a president who sees them and understands their needs and focuses on their needs, understanding
But they didn't need that with you as vice president? I mean, isn't that this is her problem, is that she is part of the incumbent administration. So anytime she's talking about this is what Americans need, why don't they have that?
Older boys made her do it.
all deserve.
Right here, we can see how much she can take without ever feeling it. That's the limit right there. And that's width, by the way, not depth.
My cervix is basically a goalpost.
Fit a beach ball in there.
to have a president who is focused on solutions and not just fanning the flames of division and hate.
You've been reluctant.
Yesterday in the Maria Shriver thing, she goes to say something negative about Trump, and she says this, Trump and those who follow him, and she has to stop and catch herself and go, not his voters. I'm talking about like his running mate.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Because she was about to call all of Trump's supporters shitbags. Which, by the way, you probably shouldn't do as a politician, but at least I'd have more respect for you because you'd be honest. You think they're
Yeah.
shitbags. Just be honest. I think most of Kamala's supporters are shitbag communists.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Reluctant to lean into, to talk about the historic nature of your candidacy on the campaign trail. Why is that?
It's unimportant. You seem reluctant to being the first woman because it doesn't fucking matter. If she was the second female president, would you be like, oh, you're the second one? Fuck you. Does this mean after the first one that we'll never have another one? Because I'm almost willing to make that trade. You know what I mean? Never again in the history of, well, no, not with Kamala, because that would probably be because America would be over. But you know what I mean? If you're going to throw up a woman up there and then we don't ever have to have another one, fuck it, let's do it. Let's go. I get to pick the woman, though, and it's Megyn Kelly. Not because I think she's smart enough to be president. She might be. But if I got to look at a woman for 4 years, make it a cute one.
Yeah, that's fair.
In my age range. You know what I mean?
It's kind of old, but
I would say my wife, but then she'd be exposed to more people and realize how horrible I am and probably leave me. So I'm going with Megyn Kelly.
Well, I'm clearly a woman. I don't need to point that out to anyone.
well, now I suspect that to be a lie.
No shit. Hey, Kamala, is Dylan Mulvaney clearly a woman? I like how she was on that, man. She apparently knows the definition of a woman.
Well, I mean, monkeys and typewriters, dude.
I need somebody to ask her a follow-up on that. Like, you said you were obviously a woman. Can you define woman for me?
Can you define obviously for me?
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Can you define I? Spell it, I
Yes.
dare you.
Look how smug she looks, and that's still there.
I'm obvious, and this is over her saying I'm obviously a woman. There's no need to bring it up. It's what your side does. It's why she's asking the question. The left has been so focused on identity politics for the last 2 decades that it is unusual that you are not playing it up as much as Hillary did. Do you think that's why? Because of the whole "it's her turn" blew up in their face so bad?
Maybe.
Because in fairness to Kamala, which I don't want to be, I have not heard her talk much about being the first woman president.
Yeah, I think that one played so poorly with Hillary that you're probably right.
Yeah, you probably don't want to remind everybody that you're a woman constantly because women hate women, and that is their only voting base right now.
Yeah, it's President Ma'am. Good one, Bader.
The point that most people really care about is, can you do the job?
Fair.
And do you have a plan to actually? That is why I spend the majority of my time listening and then addressing the concerns, the challenges, the dreams, the ambitions, and the aspirations of the American people.
No, you don't. You do what you just did right there and just repeat your stump speech, no matter what the question was. Even in town halls, you do this.
Yeah, town halls, one-on-ones, in front of crowds, doesn't matter. She just defaults to stump speech.
Hey, Lalo, I see you there in chat. In 2 weeks, if she loses, don't hurt yourself. Call a doctor. Get help. I don't like you. I think you're fucking retarded, but I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
I'm
They deserve to have a-
Lilo. He's just lazy.
And yeah, if you keep spamming with your caps like that, time his ass out. You're allowed to be here, dickhead, but you know the rules. Stop being that way. Did mom not call today and it was your birthday or something?
Mom never
He's
calls.
especially grumpy tonight. Is it because
Well,
Kamala took the day off?
probably. I mean, she's exhausted.
No yelling aloud. There's times it's okay. I mean, if you're doing one word or you're blind, we've fuck, what's his name? Fuck, the guy who always posted all
Data?
caps. Data, thank you.
Data.
All,
Yeah.
all I could think is Dino, and I'm like, it's not Dino. But Data
How the
couldn't
fuck
see,
did
so
you
he
get
typed in all
Dino out of
caps. Anyhow,
How'd you get Dino?
I don't fucking know. How'd I get Honey?
I don't know. It's funny though.
I am glad to see she's back to her black pearl necklace.
Well, she's representing.
Da 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 da. Maybe she's going old school, back to her humble beginnings.
President
Wow.
who's focused on
That's a Willie Brown joke.
them, as opposed to a Donald Trump who's constantly focused on himself. I think that's part of why people are exhausted.
Donald Trump the other day basically canceled an event, and they stood around and just danced together for like an hour because two different people had medical emergencies and he had to stop it both times to go and make sure those people were okay. He only concentrates on himself. Get fucked. I'm so tired. Look, he does spend a lot of time talking about himself. I won't deny that. But he also talks about the people a lot. And unlike you, Kamala, he doesn't just repeat the same 5 lines over and over again. Just saying.
With Donald Trump and his approach,
Oh, it's 6
because
minutes
it's
in.
all about himself and his personal grievances, and not about
Tell me about growing up in a middle-class household.
the American people, not about how are you going to help families, how are you going to help small businesses, how are you going to strengthen our economy.
You stole his no taxes on tips. Do you think he's working for tips? Nothing he's going to do for the American people. Maybe that's because she thinks taxes is for the American people. The more you tax them, the more you love them. It would explain a lot, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, everybody loves their pay pigs, I guess.
These are the things I'm focused on. I'm focused on investing in the new industries on which America should lead and be a global leader.
I ask because to implement the agenda that you want to implement, you have to win first. You have to win the White House. And right now, there is a big gender gap in this race. Fewer men support you right now than they did President Biden. Some of your allies have suggested there's sexism at play.
It's not sexism, and it's not just with her. James Carville rang the bell on this for you fucking idiots back in May. Like, we have a man problem because we have over-feminized this party. And everybody's like, I can't believe he would say that. And now they're all like, damn, why ain't men paying any? Why they hate us? They must be misogynists.
No, I saw a commercial they did where there's a bunch of totally straight men coming out for Kamala.
Oh, I did see that.
Totally straight.
I wonder, do you think there is sexism at play here?
Let me just tell you something. You've come to my events, and you will see there are men and women at those events.
Nobody's saying no men are supporting you. Technically, they were born male, so we have to call them men when they hit a certain age. You're losing with men overall, though. This is the same fucking question she ignored the other day and tried to be like, no, there's some guys here. See, look, that little gay one over there is a man.
I think a lot of this comes down to the fact that she can never admit when anything isn't going her way.
Yes, she is more arrogant than Trump, if that's possible.
Yeah, Trump's arrogance comes from a place of success. Hers comes from unearned girl power.
Yeah.
She's got that girl boss nonsense going on.
This would be like, I mean, never mind. I'm not going to make that comparison. Let's just go.
No,
Whether it be
I have a male friend.
small events or
Am I wrong?
No, it's she's a gay male friend.
events with 10,000 people. So the experience that I am having is one in which it is clear that regardless of someone's gender, they
Thanks.
want to know that their president has a plan to lower cost, that their president has a plan to secure America in the context of our position around the world. They want a president of the United States who honors our military, who understands the importance of America's leadership.
In the polls, you're losing with men by up to 16%. That's the highest one I've seen recently, Jack.
I imagine that's probably double that in the military alone.
Yeah, it is not a minor number. That is an ass kicking. And simply going, my experience is that with the people, this is what I was talking about earlier. When all you do is surround yourself with people who agree with you, yes, it's going to seem like you are 100% loved. Jack, I am wonderful. And even I'm not 100% loved. I know it's hard to believe, guys, but there are a couple of people who hate me out there.
We are all shocked by that, Monkey.
I know it's hard to believe, but nobody is universally loved. This is fucking retarded.
Around international rules and norms. And that is regardless of gender.
So
and
is
that
that
is
a
how
no?
I will lead.
Do you not see sexism as a factor in this race at all?
I don't think of it that way. My challenge is the challenge of making sure I can talk with
That right there, that is an interesting strategy. And maybe it's that maybe they did learn some lessons with Hillary. Maybe they've learned some lessons from Charlie's Angels. And this isn't for men. She's going out of her way. Look, I'll give her credit here. Whoever told her to say it this way is actually smart. We have a man problem. Don't go out there and call everybody misogynists.
I think she wants to, though.
Thank you, Dangerous. Trump sent a young boy named Liam, who suffers from a rare brain disorder, a letter saying Trump was praying for him. Then in mid-September, he visited Liam with a present. Not the only example, by the way. Yeah. Did you see the video of the kid getting the letter? Because his mom filmed it.
Yeah, it was adorable.
That kid was so happy. He doesn't care about the people like I do. I walk by them with my nose up so I don't have to smell them.
I try not to make contact with the little people. Let them eat cake.
This is what I was talking about with the McDonald's thing. That line of his, "You're not ordinary," that was a brilliant fucking line. And she's out here with ordinary Americans, not like you, right, sweetie? Because you're not ordinary. Alan, thank you so much. Who says, "Love you," and Jack, thank you. That is month number 11 as a member. Thank you, my friend. Love you back.
Thanks, Alan. Glad you're here, man.
with and listen to as many voters as possible. And
For the record, he is here a lot. I just kind of have it's not a hard and fast rule, but it's a mostly hard and fast rule that I only say hi to nuts directly. I mean, I'll say, if we're talking to people, but it evolved that way. Sorry.
Yeah, Alan's good people. He's been supporting us for a long time.
Alan, yes, absolutely.
Always in the chat. Same with like Eagle and so many of the other guys, Devil Fruit, Cirque, Bubba, and everybody else. We're glad to see all you guys. It's nice to get to know people a little bit in the chat, and we get to do that thanks to you guys showing up all the time.
There's just way too many people to say hi to everybody, so I just picked out one to make everybody else jealous.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all.
I understand that.
Yeah, we're all ignored except Star. Haha.
She's the favorite.
You spelled her name wrong. It's N-U-T-Z.
I don't ignore you guys. I try and say hi occasionally. It's not that easy anymore. There's a lot of you.
All right. Let's get back to wannabe dumbass here.
earn their vote. And I will never assume
Their
that
gender.
anyone in our country should elect a leader based on their gender or their race.
Did DEI VP just say You are only the VP because of your gender and your race, you retard. This is why I said this has been carefully. This answer was prepared, and
Oh, very. Yeah.
yeah, they're being very political with it because there's nobody on the left who believes this shit. They are all in on DEI. How are you going to sit here and be, I don't believe you can be a better leader because you're a man? That does not play with your audience. All right. I guess it shows somebody at her campaign is paying attention at least. They're fighting a losing battle, though, because somebody there hates this bitch.
Instead, that leader needs to earn the vote based on substance and what they will do to address challenges.
Did you just say that person needs to earn their vote as you got here without being voted for at all?
I mean, look, she accidentally stumbles on the truth occasionally.
I just love because she does this all the time where it's the right political answer. It just doesn't go with her history. So I guess that's her unburdened by what has been part of it.
Yeah.
You have to earn their vote in the general election, not in the primary. Son of a bitch.
And to inspire people to know that their aspirations and their ambitions can and will be achieved through the opportunity to do that.
Some of those voters that I spoke with at some of the events yesterday, for example, talked about they were there to support you, but also your.
Real quick, I do want to appreciate this woman for talking so fast because she talks like she's from Michigan. I don't know who the fuck she is or where she's from, but I appreciate somebody who doesn't talk like this and have to take so long to get a simple fucking word out. Almost all media personalities go into that kind of fuck. And she's just like, I got a question for you. You can answer for me, please, please, please.
Yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
like a 1940s reporter as opposed to the Charlie Rose reporters.
Yeah, if she was a little dog, or if she was a dog, she'd be the little one jumping over the big one.
Yeah, like, hey, you got a quote for me? What do you got there, Jeeves? You got a quote for me? You got anything to say to this? What do you think? What do you think? I like that.
Me too. I give enough people shit for the way they do it slow. I thought I'd highlight somebody who did it well. I mean, there's still inane, stupid questions. She hasn't got to a good question yet, but.
Some of the events yesterday, for example, talked about they were there to support you, but also your agenda when it comes to reproductive rights and abortion access. And you have cast this as a matter of literal life and death, as an urgent priority here. If you win, it is entirely possible that Congress will be controlled by Republicans. So what specific concessions would you be willing to make in order to get something done on abortion access as soon as possible?
Well, first of all, look at what has happened since the Dobbs decision came down, a decision that is a direct result of the fact that Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention they would undo the protections of Roe.
It's a direct consequence of the Constitution. What concessions will you make? Dobbs was a thing, and Trump got some people, pork and beans, and Brat. Answer the fucking question. 1, there's not going to be enough concession. You might be able to force through the actual limits that were on Roe in the House. You're not going to do it in the Senate because it's not a financial bill. So you can't count on closing down argument at 50 without changing the rules of the Senate again. So you need you can't do a reconciliation. That's what that's called on a budget bill or any that deal with spending money. You can shut it down. You need 60 votes in the Senate. You do not have it, no matter what her concessions are. But it is important to answer that question. The specific things are you going to say 9 months and that's it, all the way up till crowning? You can kill it. Or would you put a limit on there like first trimester is guaranteed, but everything else is up to the states?
Yeah, see, the question wasn't bad. It's just we're going to get another nonsense diarrhea, vomit words mess from her. She can't answer a question.
How long was Obama in Congress? It wasn't even a full 6 years, was it? And he
No.
didn't look, they never thought Roe was going to be overturned. So that's why they never made a law about it. And plus, they could have never got it passed in that 50 years, that 49 years, whatever Roe was technically in effect for. But they couldn't get it passed. And they knew it. And it's the same shit that's going on here. So you're not wrong, Jack. It's not a horrible question. It's meaningless because she couldn't get it through Congress no matter what she did.
Did as he intended, and now in 20 states we have Trump abortion bans.
There are no
which
Trump abortion
Some
bans.
make no exception for rape or incest, which criminalize healthcare
ones?
providers in a state like Texas, prison for life for doctors and nurses if they provide reproductive care.
I feel like that would have made headlines. If doctors give reproductive care in Texas, they go to prison for life. I don't think that's right.
I'm going to say something from the Rittenhouse trial. They could cross state lines. I mean, it's a crazy notion that you could get a $70 bus ticket and go to another state and have it done. But that's a possibility. Why do they assume you're locked in this like 15-minute city like you're in China?
Because women, I mean, they shouldn't have to drive across state lines, Jack. They're women. They shouldn't be inconvenienced to kill their babies.
Yeah, oh my God, I'm sorry the place you... Why don't you move then? Move to a state that lets you murder all your babies.
Peter says it's kind of the opposite of reproductive care. This is what I was talking. I've said so many times about abortion. They have to lie constantly. They call it reproductive care when it's literally about stopping the reproductive process. Killing your baby is not reproductive care.
Yeah, but you don't look to communist leaders for the truth.
No. You got to lie, dress it up, make it sound like this is just care. Except for those kids. Let's ask those kids how cared for they feel.
But you can't because they're all dead.
Oh, fair. Damn it. If only they were here to speak on their mom's behalf and be like, yeah, mom should have killed me.
Now, do you think that Kamala would ask them questions in her black accent?
Well, it depends on which ones. I mean, most of them she would, yes.
Statistically, I mean.
Statistically, yes.
And where we have seen this issue on the ballot, to your point about elections, from red states to blue states.
What point about it?
When freedom is on the ballot, the American...
You can't just say to your point when they didn't make that point.
Yes, you can. She clearly can.
You can, but it's meaningless.
Well, if you babble on long enough, people forget that there was a question on the table. So then you can say, to your point, and everybody will be like, I guess maybe she made a point. I don't know. I don't remember that far back.
Michael, thank you. Clearly pushing people off bridges is psychiatric healthcare, Monk. Yes. That's fuck. It's care.
people vote for freedom, regardless of the party they are registered to vote with. We have seen that. And I know that there are members of the United States Congress who are well aware that their constituents are in favor of the very fundamental principle that a woman should be able to make decisions about her own body and not.
Then they should have that vote in their state, so that the ones who don't have to.
Ever government tell her what to do.
So is a question of pragmatism then, what concessions would be on the table? Religious exemptions, for example, is that something that you would consider?
I don't think we should be making concessions when we're talking about a fundamental freedom to make decisions about your own body.
Literally abortion up till birth for whatever reason you want.
And a cheap shot at the Christians.
Yep. I don't think we should be making concessions. So you believe in abortion? Well, with the newer definitions from them, I mean, up till birth means even if the baby comes out. But yeah, no limits. We do not believe in no limit abortion. That is a lie. What limits do you believe in? I don't think we should put limits on these things.
Yeah.
So
I'd be
how? And they have the fucking balls to then be like, what Roe v. Wade is what we needed. Roe v. Wade had limits. I'm sorry, Jack. I stepped all over you there. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm curious to know what she would do to religious organizations that try and push people to have like the ultrasounds because they're statistically more likely to keep the kid if they see the ultrasound,
Right. Yeah.
or people that say that abortion's wrong. Would that be punishable then because you're anti-healthcare? We saw what they did during COVID
Yeah.
to the so-called misinformation. So what would they do to religious people that are opposed to it on moral grounds? Because that sounds like the makings of a crime.
Yeah. You're gonna have an issue with what you just said there, Kamala, because religious exemptions, they're you're not allowed to get involved in that. You're the guys who wanted separation of church and state enshrined into law instead of what the law actually says.
Hey, in fact,
To Republicans like, for example, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, who would back something like this on a Democratic agenda if, in fact, Republicans control Congress, would you offer them an olive branch, or is that off the table? Is that not an option for you?
I'm not going to engage in hypotheticals.
Okay, she does this. We have not talked about her doing this before, but she's done this in several interviews. What would you do? I am not going to talk about hypotheticals. No, in order to get this passed through Congress, you literally have to get it through Congress. What are you willing to do to get it through? It's a hypothetical. I'm not going to answer that question. I'm now a Supreme Court nominee, and I don't have to answer that because that case may come before me.
now she has answered hypotheticals before. It's
Yeah.
only when they're difficult ones or ones where she would have to admit losing something that she says, I don't engage in hypotheticals.
She has pulled this line out, and frankly, this line alone should be disqualifying.
Yes.
I'm not going to engage in hypotheticals.
Then what good are you? How do we know what any of your stances are? How do we
Yep.
know if your values have changed or not?
I'm not going to engage in hypotheticals, but don't bring up the things I've said in the past because I will follow the law hypothetically. Anything you talk about doing at this point, Kamala, is hypothetical.
Yeah.
You're not the president. You can't do any of this shit yet. I'm not going to engage in literally campaigning.
Well, she could honestly do it if she just has to invoke the 25th.
Dude, well, true. Her whole bullshit she was talking just a little bit ago about giving young couples $6,000 so they can buy cribs and car seats and clothes is a hypothetical.
No, that's science. That's a known thing in the future. See, Mercury's in retrograde, and my astrologist said this is a definite go.
Dr. Joanne says, I need more ranch dressing. I always have an extra bottle of ranch dressing, Jack.
That's disturbing. Your cardiologist really should have a chat with you.
I don't eat it as much as you think I might, but I do not run out of ranch dressing. That is not an option in my house.
Saddle up the sled dogs. We got to get some ranch.
I will go out in the middle of a blizzard if I need ranch and ain't got it. I don't give a fuck all. On icy roads and everything.
We can go on with a variety of scenarios. Let's just start with the fundamental fact. A basic freedom has been taken from the women of America.
Oh, fuck off.
Hypothetically, would you give it back to them?
Through executive action.
How do you say I'm not going to engage in hypotheticals? Any answer she gives about abortion, any answer is hypothetical because she's not president yet. How does she get away with this shit?
Because the press allows her to. They want her to win because Orange Man is bad. They've declared him Hitler repeatedly.
Ebony asks, you'd risk your life for ranch dressing. Did you just meet me?
Yeah, to be fair, you live in Michigan. Half the year is icy, shitty roads.
True.
And Michigan roads are always garbage to begin with. So
actually, they're often nicer in the winter because they cover up, the snow covers up the potholes and gets packed
fill in the potholes.
Yeah. We have much nicer roads when they're freshly plowed than in the summertime. That is so fucking sad.
It is, because it's true.
the freedom to make decisions about their own body.
What about men who don't want to work for the next 18 years?
What about the men who don't want to get drafted?
I know that not that fundamental right. No. Just whether you want to kill the kid, because it's only about a woman's body at that point. Fuck.
And that cannot be negotiable, which is that we need to put back in the protections of Roe v. Wade. And that is it.
But what if you can't do that? What if you can't get that passed and you want to save lives in Florida and in Texas? And
Abortion is really important to this lady.
Well, Moloch demands dead babies.
This is like her third follow-up. Damn. All right.
Yeah.
But
She
how are you
kinda
going to
looks
make sure we can kill the babies?
Yeah, well, they're trying to make it into a central issue of this election cycle, and it's not working because none of the Republicans are talking at all about abortion bans, and Trump has said numerous times he is not going to sign one.
Yep.
So
But-
it's that Project 2025 shit they're trying to albatross around him, and it's just not working.
It's the only people that it works with are the people who are going to vote for her anyway. Hardcore leftist women. That's who's swayed by this.
Yeah.
Oh, where's my cursor? There it is. I had it on the wrong screen. Sorry.
in Georgia. What do you do?
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole with you right now. Because right now,
it's a
well,
question that's out there because
Yeah,
it's not a guarantee that Democrats will win control of Congress.
well, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that we do.
That it's
On
irrelevant.
this issue, I think that what is clear to me is whether someone is, I was just with one of the leaders and I think opinion leaders in the Republican Party, Liz Cheney.
She's not in the Republican Party anymore. She's out of office.
I think a Republican leader in the what the fuck are you talking about? Now we know Monk uses 2 screens. I talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I use 2 screens.
I get that she's trying to hype up, Cheney because she needs somebody loving her.
Yeah.
Liz Cheney lost her election by what, 25 points?
I think it was more than that.
I feel like maybe she's not a thought leader in the Republican Party. All right, sure.
She is, as she has stated publicly and has expressed her
She said it
private
on
feelings,
stage yesterday.
she is pro-life. But she also understands the pain and the tragedy.
She didn't used to be. She actually said that she's pro-life because she saw the damage that Dobbs has caused.
Oh,
You mean more babies being born? More American babies being born of all colors?
I think
Can't
she
have
meant-
that.
she meant the
We got to bring in the replacement players.
Yeah, she meant the blacks. Who we kidding?
We need anchor babies, not American babies.
Yeah, they want the foreign babies so they can get rid of that pesky Constitution thing that people seem to hang on to.
Tragedy that has happened since Donald Trump allowed Roe v. Wade to be overturned. So that
Donald Trump didn't allow it to be overturned. It actually happened under your administration. It wouldn't have happened if you guys argued better. You guys submitted a brief. There was an amicus brief from you guys. You should have argued better. You let these women die. Remember, none of them have actually died from this. It's all nonsense.
Hey, fact.
that's my point about what is non-negotiable. It has to be that we agree that it is so fundamental that we allow women the ability with their doctor, if they choose talking with their faith leader, to be able to make these decisions and not have the government tell her what to do.
If a lady finds out, if there's, ever a test, that her baby is going to come out transgender, should she be allowed to kill it if her doctor says okay?
Or just gay.
They don't care about gays as much anymore. You got to go to the transgender one now.
Oh.
You can't ask them, hey, what if the baby's black? Because they're like, yeah, definitely kill that. They're Democrats. They're for that.
Yeah, that's kind of Planned Parenthood's forte.
On the question of your beliefs, what you believe in, let me ask you this question very broadly speaking here.
Sure.
Do you believe that transgender Americans should have access to gender affirming care in this country?
I believe we should follow the law. I mean, I think you're
That's not an answer.
That is the same dodge she used with Brett Baer.
I think we should follow the law. Do you think we should have slavery? I think we should follow the law.
Yeah, I mean, Runaway Slave Act was a real thing for a long time.
Yeah. I think we should follow the law. Sometimes laws need change, dumbass. And you're running for the job of being the one who gets to sign that law.
I don't know. I think we
follow
should
the law.
just follow the law.
I would accept we should follow the science, even knowing that their version of science is bullshit, more than I would accept we should follow the law.
Oh my God. Somebody should remix Follow the Yellow Brick Road to Follow the Law.
That would be awesome.
A bunch of midgets singing that and have Kamala photoshopped over Dorothy. She said, I think we should follow the law. Follow the law. Follow the law. I don't know why that struck me, but in my mind, that's hilarious.
This has become her new talking point, and I don't know what one of her Biden spies planted that in her head. But that is a horrible answer. That doesn't... Okay, what she's trying to do is be political here. She doesn't want to wade into it.
Mm-hmm.
When you try to please everyone, you end up typically pleasing nobody.
True.
The transgenders on your side aren't going to go, I think she's right, we should follow the law, because they think the laws are oppressing them.
Yeah.
And the people on the other side aren't going to be, oh, she's saying that they should follow the law, because they think the laws should be stuff she clearly doesn't back. All right.
You're probably pointing to the fact that Donald Trump's campaign.
Oh, she pleased everyone. Look, once again, I just want to point out, Willie Brown admitted that he was plowing this chick. He never said she was good at it. There might be a whole lot of blue balls in her wake. That's all I'm saying.
You know who we should ask is Montel. He would know.
I forgot he nailed her.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he nailed her before Willie Brown.
Poor bastard.
I believe we should follow the law. I mean, I think you're probably pointing to the fact that Donald Trump's campaign has spent tens of millions of dollars.
They're trying to define you on this.
Yes,
I'm asking you to define yourself, though. Just broadly speaking, what is your value? Do you believe they should have that access?
I believe that people, as the law states, even on this issue about federal law, that is a decision that doctors will make in terms of what is medically necessary. I'm not going to.
None of it is medically necessary.
Well, it is if you want to kill that baby.
Medical necessity is about keeping you alive. Nobody needs transgender surgery or testosterone so that they can feel like a boy when they were born a girl for medical necessity. That is not a thing. Oh, he's going to die if he doesn't get his penis cut off. If somebody dies from not being able to be transgender, can you like restart their heart and get them a stint or something?
Maybe.
There's also no proof it helps them. No, there's not. In fact, it seems to, if anything, make the problem worse because all you're doing is justifying delusion and maybe playing up mental health issues is a bad idea.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of it would be that they're saying this is a cure-all and you're going to be fine once you get this. And then if they're not, wouldn't that make you more depressed?
Isn't her saying she would follow the law hypothetical?
Yeah, because we don't have any assurances that she actually would follow the law. Because what if she can't get any of her stuff through? And now she's stuck with the Dobbs decision. Is she going to follow the law on that, or is she going to try and go around it?
Fair. I don't know who the hyperactive bitch is asking the questions, but I do appreciate that she just pointed that out to Kamala. We're trying to get to understand what you believe. This is Kamala, who spent 27 minutes with Brett Baer, and at the end tells everybody, well, if you want to know what I think, you should go to my website. You You just had 27 minutes of TV time to tell us what you believe. Oh no, you should go to my website where somebody wrote something and put my name on it. Because I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
I am an empty vessel.
And she's again with this. Donald Trump spent tens of millions of dollars. Yeah, he did an ad buy for a commercial. Shocking. To show
it's
your
almost
own. All they did was show her own words, Jack.
Yeah, it's almost like that's what politicians do.
Can you believe he did ads in an election season? Yeah, actually, I
What a
can.
monster. Freak.
Believe it or not, I hypothetically expected it. Keldrick, thank you. She could be asked if she had a solid opinion on literally anything, and she'd still find a way to avoid the answer. True.
Yeah. That's a hypothetical.
Literally, the only question she asked is the one even she admits is meaningless. Or sorry, the only question she answered was the one that she said it was is America ready for a female president? Yes, but I don't think we should pay any attention to that. All right.
I'll put myself in the position of a doctor, but let's also understand that Donald Trump is running tens of millions of dollars in ads to talk about two cases, to distract from the fact that his policy and plan is also to take away the Affordable Care Act.
How did we get to the Affordable Care Act? And
are dead babies covered by that?
I guess. The commercial she's bitching about here, it covers two cases. Right. No. It covers you talking about those cases and your opinion that the American taxpayer should pay for literal rapists to get transgender care to go live in female prisons and rape with impunity. Dangerous, thank you. Let me get this. Thank you. Your beliefs will determine whether or not you sign things into laws, Kamala. 2, if surgery does not affect some sort of bodily function, it's cosmetic surgery. 3, Kamala has outspent Trump. Yes, she's raised more too, which is really sad.
It's kind of pathetic. Plus, she has all these celebrities behind her. And she's doing this poorly. Yeah.
Sane in chat there says, God, I hope Trump wins, not only because I'm a conservative, but because I can't listen to her voice for 4 to 8 years.
Oh my God, right?
I am really torn on this. Practically, I want Trump to win. But there's a small part of me who has had such an easy time of doing my job with her running as president, where I'm like, oof, could be easy street for 4 to 8 years, man.
Yeah, I mean, financially and comedically, it would work out for us. But unfortunately, 2 things would happen. 1, we would be arrested for something.
Eventually, yes.
Because they're going to crack down on misinformation. And we'll likely be invaded or nuked by then.
Yeah, that's why we got to go with the practical instead of the, hey, I could make a lot more money if she wins.
Yeah.
And with far less effort, Jack. Far less effort.
Yeah.
For our job, for those of you who don't know, it is so much easier to have somebody stupid to just respond to. And you don't even need to be that smart to do it. You just need to be mildly knowledgeable about what's going on in the world around you. So
or you could attach yourself to somebody like Monkey who knows what they're talking about and then just sit there and say something smart ass occasionally.
You'd make millions and be able to afford 2 loaves of bread. That's true.
Yeah, sadly. Like, what'd you do
But
today,
again,
Jack? I fended off some wolves.
I would have to do so much less work.
We'd be living in our pods and enjoying it. I have no doubt.
Which provides health care for tens of millions of people in our country. That his plan is to undo the $35 a month cap on insulin.
Okay.
He wants to undo the things that you guys undid and had to redo.
Yes.
That seems like a weird plan, really.
It's counterproductive, but it's something to do.
Has Donald Trump come out and said that he was going to undo that?
Nope.
Because look, I'm not saying he didn't, guys. I haven't heard him say it though.
I haven't seen that anywhere.
That it impacts millions of seniors in our country, that his plan is to do away with the $2,000 cap on prescription medication, the annual cap, that his plan is to get rid of.
Again, did he say that?
No, I haven't seen that anywhere.
All right. Again, maybe he's got a reason for it. Maybe he's like, the way they're doing this is wrong, and that's entirely possible.
He has said he wants to renegotiate the prices of medication and have medication made here in the States, but that's close as I know of to what she's talking about.
Huh.
The Department of Education, which would mean getting rid of that way with the $2,000 cap on prescription medication, the annual cap, that his plan is to get rid of the Department of Education.
Yeah, he's not trying to hide that, and nobody thinks that's a bad idea that supports Trump.
No, that's a great idea. Save a fortune. It's not like that was a founding institution of the United States.
Not to mention, if you look at the numbers, the quality of education in America has fucking tanked since the Department of Education became a thing.
Yep.
To an alarming degree.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not good at their jobs, and it's just a money pit.
Yep. He's trying to hide that by pointing out, I want to give prisoners sex change operations on your dime.
Yeah, weird flex, eh?
It really is. She's just in her stump speech now, just listing off everything about Trump. Yeah, he's trying to hide all of that shit by pointing. There's so many things to point out about you. You're that incompetent and stupid, and as he pointed out today, lazy.
Yeah, well, I don't think you can call her lazy because she's identifying as black.
I can call her lazy because I happen to know for a fact that her best work is done on her back.
That's a good point.
Which would mean getting rid of Head Start. That his plan is to give tax cuts to billionaires.
You don't have to get rid of Head Start by getting rid of the Department of Education. You could still have Head Start. You could even make it the Department of Head Start. All you need for Head Start to exist, Jack, is Congress to fund it.
What?
And be like, hey, states, here's block grants for Head Start if you want to participate in the program. I'm not suggesting that needs done. I'm just saying you can do that.
That sounds like crazy talk, monkey. Congress doing their job? I don't even know where to begin with that.
And for the record, not only should he get rid of DOE, he should get rid of a shit ton more. I'm with Ramaswamy, at least 75% of the federal government.
Oh, yeah, it's totally unnecessary bureaucracy. They need to start slashing budgets and closing departments because there's a bunch of crap that goes on that is just nonsensical paper pushing.
All right.
And big corporations and on the backs of middle-class working people. So let's not get distracted by the issues that, to your point from the introductory point you raised, people want to know that their president has a plan to make their life better.
No, we the people want to know if you do believe that you should pay for prisoners' sex change operations. It's why the lady asked the question that you refused to answer when Brett Baer asked it. Because it is a meaningful topic to people. Because we're not even talking, because her question was actually, do you think trans people should have access to health care? Which is a bullshit question anyway, because the actual charge from Trump is, and have taxpayers pay for it.
Yeah, that's the key phrasing. Of course, everybody should have access to healthcare, but the fucking people don't need to pay for everything.
Lancelot, thank you. She always sounds so whiny and about to cry during her interviews. Well, She does not like being challenged because it takes a lot to remember which of her stump speech talking points to bring up. It's why she's all over the place in her answers. Half the time she gives an answer, it literally has nothing to do with the subject at hand.
Oh, yeah. On the rare occasion she answers a question. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Kamala's best work could have been done on her back. It would have been on her hands and knees. That way no one would have to look at her face. That's true, and you could both watch X-Files.
How have none of you guys out there heard of turning off the lights?
Excuse me, how am I going to look for intruders if the lights are off?
If you're looking for intruders at that time, you're just paranoid.
I feel judged.
I am
Are you
judging
outside my house right now?
You should feel judged.
Oh. Yeah, well, you know, I have no defense to that. You're at 100% right.
And that includes bringing down the cost of living. It includes dealing with prescription medication costs. It includes addressing the housing crisis and affordable housing crisis in our country. It includes supporting our small businesses, investing.
I know I say this a lot. What is this bitch talking about?
Dude, it's so hard to figure out what she's saying.
She's bringing up the housing crisis. The housing crisis. Because she was asked if she thinks trans people should have access to health care.
Well, first we have to buy them houses, and then we have to take care of them.
It's a perfect example of what I just answered to Lancelot there. She just knows she has talking points. She doesn't know why. She knows these are the things that are supposed to be said, not what order they go in, not where they belong in questions, but these are the things I'm supposed to say. Housing crisis. Fuck. It is so hard to watch. It really is.
Investing in American.
You know, you and I think it was the Brett Baer one. Oftentimes after this show, guys, me and Jack are just spent. If it's a bad interview and it's a slog, it's draining. It just bores the shit out of even me.
Yeah.
And we're starting to get there here. This is not one of the fun ones. It's fun for me in the fact that I can insult this ignorant wretch of a woman. But literally nothing is said.
Yeah, and I always feel bad because sometimes we have to repeat a lot of what we say, and I don't want to bore the audience with our insane obsession with mocking this stupid bitch.
But it's necessary to do. One,
I know.
It's our job.
Yeah.
But this is important. More people need to see our show or shows like ours. I'm not just touting our horn here.
Like, share, subscribe.
Who this woman is. They've done their best to cover for her. And she is a disaster.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In industries and strengthening our economy.
I will move on, but I don't know that I heard a clear answer from you on the issue.
Yet. You should have said yet.
Yeah.
And you should have said, I don't think anybody's heard a clear answer from you ever. And she loves to start. Let me be clear. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Let me be clear. I'm a dipshit and Handmaid's Tale and other things that make people vote for me.
Sorry, I interrupted this one. I couldn't help it. Good on her. Good. I mean, I do got to give her credit right there. I'll move on, but I don't think I've really heard an answer. Because you didn't, sweetheart. There was no answer.
No.
American industries and strengthening our economy.
I will move on, but I don't know that I heard a clear answer from you on the issue of gender affirming care. It sounds like what you're saying is this should be something between trans Americans and their job.
Stop. No. See, I just gave her credit and I shouldn't have.
Well, it happens, dude.
It sounds like what you're saying. No. Make her say what she's saying. That's your job as a journalist. It's not to paraphrase it for her so she can go, yeah. God damn. Why? Why are they like this?
You know why. They sucker.
It feels like that's a long way from "we see you and we love you," which was your message to trans Americans in May. What do you want the LGBTQ plus community to know as they're looking for a full-throated backing from you for trans Americans?
They want a full-throated backing from you.
Her throat is usually full.
I believe that all people should be treated with dignity and respect,
That's not the question.
period,
Not the question.
and should not be vilified for who they are.
Even pedophiles?
Apparently.
I believe all people should not be criticized for who they are. Everybody should be who they want to be. Even pedophiles, murderers, rapists,
Yeah. Jeffrey
Donald
Dahmer.
Trump. It's another one of those flowery bullshit hippie answers
Yeah.
that as long as you don't put any thought into it, it sounds great. It's the kind of shit, no offense, works with women because it's an emotional thing. You're right. We should all be ourselves. Crack dealers, baby murderers, and I'm not talking about, Kamala. I'm talking about, actually kill 6 months old. Everybody just be yourself. Nobody should judge you.
Oh.
Should not be bullied for who they are. And
Don't bully the pedophiles. She won't like it.
Yeah, she'll be very upset.
that is a true statement for me my entire career. And that has not changed.
You called men stupid. Remember that?
Yeah.
You don't judge or bully anyone. You called men stupid. This is the problem you get into when you say hippie, stupid language that sounds good on a poster you'd hang on your wall, but makes no sense in the real world. Because then you do things like accidentally support pedophiles and baby rapists.
Yep.
Part of the case that you're making to undecided voters and to these late deciding voters is not just the case for you, for what you would do. It's the case against former President Trump. And on that, we are sitting here 2 weeks away from election night. Last election, the former president came out on election night and declared victory before all the votes were counted. What is your plan if he does that again in 2 weeks?
I'm going to shoot him in the face.
Well, they've already tried that.
What kind of fucking question is that?
Just going full Dick Cheney.
Well, she has been hanging out with him a lot lately.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if he gives an opinion you don't like?
Oh, you know what she's going to do. She's going to lawfare him.
Strap in, guys. I have a feeling this will be a January 6th kind of answer.
Oh, hang on.
It's got to be, right? That's what she's leading up to.
I think so. Some insurrection stuff. Thank you, Frosted. You know what people with plans can do? Answer hypotheticals.
Yep.
It's true. Her ideas all seem to depend on a compliant Congress and Supreme Court. What if things don't go exactly as you need them to? Don't worry, everything will go perfectly. She's Lex Luthor from Batman versus Superman. Yeah. Well, should pack the Supreme Court. Congress, I don't know. Maybe she'll just have them all assassinated. She'll pull a Emperor Palpatine. I dissolved the Senate. Thank you, Keldrick. Don't bully the kitty diddlers. It makes Joe sad when you pick on him and his good friend Diddy.
True.
Yeah, Diddy is suspiciously close to Diddler. So, which is probably his super villain name. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Excuse me. So sorry.
Well, let me say this. We've got 2 weeks to go. And I'm very much grounded in the present in terms of the task at hand. And we will deal with election night and the days after as they come. And we have the resources and the expertise and the focus on that as well.
I'm going to give her a pass for not answering this one because it was a stupid fucking question.
So you have teams ready to go? Is that what you're saying? Are you thinking about that as a possibility?
Of course. This is a person, Donald Trump, who tried to undo a free and fair election.
Stop it. Everybody has a team and always has. Because you do still look for... Of course we have a team in case something like that. Because Donald Trump... You do realize that Gore had a team in place in Florida within seconds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of Donald Trump.
I thought she meant more like SEAL Team 6.
Well, she might actually.
Who still denies the will of the people, who incited a violent mob to
He doesn't deny the will of the people. He denies that was the will of the people. Big
Yes.
difference.
Yeah, she said a lot of things we can't talk about without getting in trouble.
But it's true. Donald Trump, if you gave him absolute proof, hey, everything is perfect, he'd have to, but you'd have to give him proof, and nobody has it. It's probably at this point too high of a bar to ever reach for what he would consider proof. But it is a major difference to say that he didn't accept the will of the people and that he didn't believe that was the will of the people. Those are two entirely different things.
Absolutely.
That's why every time, like, Donald Trump, he says he didn't win the election. Prove to me that he believes he didn't. Because if he believes 100% that he won the election, it's not a lie for him to say it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can believe something that's not true. Flat earthers do it all the time.
Yeah, you can say he's wrong, but you can't call him a liar at that point.
What she's really saying is she will not accept the results. Yeah, that's a possibility, Assassin.
I hear you, but again, this is always done just in case there's issues. They always have a team for this.
United States Capitol, and 140 law enforcement officers were attacked. Some were killed.
None were killed, you lying whore.
Some of them did the attacking too. That's the FBI.
Not a single police officer's death can be tied to January 6th. That is fucking retarded.
Oh, now who's talking in hypotheticals, Mr. Monkey?
She is, because it didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the numbers that they use is usually 6. One died the next day, unrelated. And what is it? 4 of them were suicides, some 6 months later.
Yeah.
I told you, it was because of January 6th. He really wanted to kill Ashley Babbitt and didn't get to, and he was sad.
This is a serious...
Sorry, I'm joking about suicide. Okay, I'm really not sorry, but you're supposed to say that.
matter. The American people are at this point, 2 weeks out, being presented with a very, very serious decision.
Truer words have not been spoken, lady. But I think we're going to disagree on what that decision is. We have to decide whether we want a commie retard, and that is officially what she is. This commie retard or Trump. I have not heard anything so bad about Trump that I would be like, you know what? Commie retard's the way I'm going.
Yeah. I'd be hard pressed to ever say, hey, the commie retard's the choice of the day.
I doubt all those self-deletions were voluntary. More like a Arkansas. I feel like she's not respecting their body, their choice, and trying to put that on the January 6th people. They were just making their own medical decisions.
I think it's kind of gross for the Democrats to keep standing on these dead cops' suicides because it shows that there's a fundamental breakdown in getting police officers the help they need to address the stress of their jobs in that department. If you have that many suicides from 1 or 2 departments in the area, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's clearly either people being hired that should and can't handle the job, or so much stress and pressure being put on these guys that they see no help and they see no way out. And that is not good. So I think it's pretty disgusting not to address the mental health of the police officers and just say, well, it was just January 6th. They were obviously victims of that. I think you have underlying issues that are being ignored that way. So I find that exceptionally disgusting.
Vince says, first timer joined an hour plus in, started at the beginning and watched at 2x speed to catch up. Great chatter, guys. Subbed with notices on. My non-comment said more than Cum Swallow did. I like that nickname. See you next time, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by and welcome. Welcome.
Yeah,
welcome.
absolutely.
About what will be the future of our country. And it includes whether we are a country that values
Whether we're a big country or a little country.
A big country like evil Russia or a little country like sainted Ukraine.
And it includes whether we are a country that values a president who respects their duty to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Donald Trump has said he would terminate the Constitution of the United States. The American people are being...
He did, but again, context. It does matter. But they never mind. She's not going to talk context.
Presented with a choice here about whether we want a president who understands that America must stand strong as a leader around the globe, or an individual in Donald Trump who openly admires dictators. My goodness, recent reports that he gave COVID tests to the president of Russia during the height of the pandemic here.
Oh my God. He gave a COVID test to Putin, Jack.
What a son of a bitch. Why did she say when we have to be a strong country, she made a hand job motion?
Because that's how she would rule.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's fair.
Not with an iron fist, but a one open enough for a penis to fit in.
We need to open all our orifices. I mean, diplomacy.
But notice that we'd be a strong country, or someone like Donald Trump, who gave a COVID test to Putin. Hey, shitbait. How many wars started under Trump? How much land did Putin take under Trump? You're the big baddie on the block, right? You're standing up. You're in there right now. How come you can't get shit done?
Putin doesn't want his dick near her mouth.
Right? He's like, nah, man. I'm gonna fuck this ugly Russian bitch instead. Yeah, look, it gets cold in
hot
Russia.
Russian chicks. Yeah, and there's some cute ones out there. I'm sure he's got his pick, but man, if old vagina neck here, oh God.
Thank you, Dangerous. When Trump said, or has said, I will only accept a free and fair election, they say he won't accept the results. Has Hillary conceded 2016? Has Stacey conceded Georgia 2018? Selected, not elected in 2000? Yeah, well, when he says I'll accept a free and fair election, they hear he's not going to accept it because we're going to cheat. I mean, that's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be no problem with saying I will accept a free and fair election. They say they want free and fair elections. It's their fucking talking point.
They say a lot of things, Monkey. They don't do a lot of those.
I will accept what you guys say we have. You fucking asshole.
How dare you?
Christ, these people are dumb as shit.
When Americans couldn't get their hands on COVID tests, these are the choices before the American people right now. The choice before the American people is the choice to choose to turn the page on the division and the hate.
The choice to choose to turn the page.
She's still trying to do this. We got to turn the page from Trump, who hasn't been in power for 4 years.
She really likes that song. That's why.
I love that song.
I was waiting for her to say the choice of a new generation.
I'm actually shocked she didn't, because that has been I'm from a new generation.
New Coke. She's like New Coke.
You're 60, bitch.
Yeah. The new generation, what, 50 years ago? Shush.
Charles Darwin asked, is she an idiot? Let's just say she wouldn't have survived back in the olden times. She died trying to lick her own ass.
And to bring our country together, knowing the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us, and that we can be optimistic about a new generation of leadership.
She did it. New generation, Jack.
Tell you, I swear she just watches old TV shows and commercials.
Fuck me.
that is focused on what we have yet to achieve, to uplifting the American people.
If you win,
Wait a second. It's really hard to see because the chyron's in the way. But the audience has to see this. No, this way. There we go. Watch her hand when she says uplift.
We have yet to achieve, to uplifting the American people.
She's cupping the balls, dude.
I think she was karate chopping them.
It's hard to see, but she has her fingers kind of tilted in. Kamala, don't make this so easy for me. Seriously. I feel like I'm cheating right now. All right. Ball cup. Ebony, don't judge me. You know who I am.
if you win, it is entirely possible that the federal court cases against the former president will continue on. He is, of course, facing those felony charges. Would you consider, if you win and he's convicted, a pardon for former President Trump?
I'm not going to get into those hypotheticals.
I can't answer questions.
I don't want my constituents mad at me or happy with me.
It's even better that Joe said the line about throwing Trump in jail today. I'm convinced Joe is like, fuck this bitch.
Yeah.
What little bit of his mind is left is just concentrated on hating her. Those damn hypotheticals again. Foreign native, it sucks because everything's a hypothetical in this situation.
I'm focused on the next 14 days.
But do you believe, is there any part of you that subscribes to the argument that has been made in the past that a pardon could help bring America together, could help unify the country and move on?
Let me tell you what's going to help us move on. I get elected president of the United States.
You're the incumbent VP, honey. What'll help us move on is if we stay right here. Oh, dear Christ. I feel like I'm being mean by calling her stupid, but she really is stupid.
She is very stupid.
And I get it. Not everybody does good in interviews and everything, but she's running to be president. And I don't want somebody who can't answer this woman's pretty easy questions having to talk with world leaders. Granted, she'd probably do fine with Trudeau, which apparently there's a rumor going around that he's going to step down. Canada, I'm pulling for you. Although, remember, be careful what you ask for. The next asshole might be worse and in a dress and not just for Halloween.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But that's about as much as I would trust her with. Keldrick, thank you. A new generation, huh? So we finally left the Stone Age and entered the Bronze Age. This woman would not get any references to ages. I'm not that. That's a hypothetical. What's that? Oh, sorry. Reading chat.
Oh.
One of the things you've talked about is having a Republican in your cabinet potentially.
Yes.
You've spent a lot of time on the campaign trail
Liz
with
Cheney.
former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, as you referenced. Is she somebody who you would consider putting in the cabinet? Have you talked with her about this topic?
I'll keep you posted.
Okay. On immigration, because this is another issue that's really
That's
important.
a yes. Liz Cheney is doing this because she's been promised a job in the Kamala administration.
Yeah, I mean, did everybody assume that?
No, I assumed that this was just out of pure hatred for Donald Trump.
Oh, well, that's option 2, but I think it could be both.
What position do you give Cheney? Oh, God, she's going to make her state. Oh,
No.
God.
I have a better idea. What if she made her head of the ATF?
Oh.
Everybody gets a shot in the face.
It's going to be state. I don't know if you guys have watched any more of the interview that we watched part of yesterday or the Maria Shriver one, but Cheney has been talking about how much foreign policy experience she has. Oh my God, there's a whole nother reason not to vote for this bitch.
Yeah.
Good luck getting her through a Republican Congress.
Yeah, no shit.
To Americans here.
Sure.
Immigrations and customs enforcement, of course. Back in 2019, you stopped short of calling to abolish ICE, as some Democrats were doing at
Barely.
the time, but you also said,
I've never called for
correct,
abolishing
you
ICE.
stopped short of that.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
That's right. You said
yeah.
we should.
That's what stop short means, Kamala. You didn't have to. I didn't say that thing you just said I didn't say. So she's an idiot, man. She's just an idiot. She's the people I argue with on Twitter. That's Eufio sitting right there.
Dude, that to be fair, that's an insult to Eufio, because
Fair
Eufio, well, maybe half in the
No,
bag.
listen. Drunk,
Yeah,
stupid,
yeah. I mean,
feminine.
oh, yeah. There's that. You might be onto something here.
No, I
You
think
have
you're
to
right,
think
though.
on it.
She has a job.
critically re-examine it, and you considered starting from scratch. Would you consider, if you're president, starting from scratch with ICE?
Let me tell you what the Customs and Border Patrol agents need.
No,
what the immigration system
answer the
needs.
question.
It needs
No.
to be fixed. And it needs to be fixed in a number of ways that include bringing forth a bill that conservative members of Congress, along with others, pull together, that we supported actively, that would put 15.
It would be helpful in the future if anybody who interviews this idiot doesn't actually have her there. They just have a cutout and randomly play meaningless talking points from her speeches.
Just play recordings.
Again, this is literal word for word shit that she said in other interviews. Nothing about this is off the cuff. Nothing about it is from her own mind. It is all just rehearsed bullshit.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's almost all stump speech. She just is repeating. She's probably reading a teleprompter too.
Like, you said that you'd want to completely redo it from the ground up. Would you want to completely do it? Let me tell you what needs to be done. We need to pass this bill that I didn't give a shit about until somebody told me we could get political points for it. That was bipartisan. Lots of conservatives supported it. If lots of conservatives supported it, it would have passed. You didn't even need lots of conservatives. You only needed a handful. You needed 10.
1,500 more border agents at the border to give those folks who are working around the clock and need support the assistance they need to get their job done. What we would do with that bill, if it were brought forward, is be able to
stop. Again, it's important what their job is. You guys have them handing out sandwiches to illegals
and gift cards and cell phones and
Cutting-
flights to wherever they want to go.
cutting the fence in Texas.
Yeah.
What if you let them actually do their job? How much more resources would they need then?
Well, they're too busy being traitors right now. So
Jesus fuck, man. You have them being concierges instead of fucking border agents.
yeah, that's why I don't trust the Border Patrol.
continue to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is ravaging communities around our country. It would give us the more resources to do what we need to do to prosecute transnational criminal organizations.
Oh, dear fuck.
Something I have done.
Oh my God.
But what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got word of it and told his friends in Congress, kill the bill, don't bring it forward. Because Donald
We
Trump
should really stop reminding people that Donald Trump had more power when he wasn't in office than you do.
Yeah, it seems like a bad play.
Dark says, I'm so tired of hearing that. You and me both. Dear fuck, man. This might be the last one we watch. She's going to have to do something pretty and extraordinary over the next few weeks.
I don't think that's going to happen. She's really bad at this.
It's literally the same shit over and over again.
Yeah. There's nothing new here. I don't know how she expects to win over voters if she just says the same thing in every single speech.
Well, she said it earlier. She thinks that's all. She believes that people just haven't heard her enough. That's why she's going out there to tell them.
Yeah, but she's not actually laying any plans out. She just says stuff.
Those are hypotheticals.
Yeah.
The only thing that has changed between this and the Brett Baer one and the other NBC one she did, any of the ones she's done, is the order of the nonsensical answers.
Yeah, there's that.
It's literally the only thing that's changed. And even the pantsuit, I'm pretty sure it's the same one. They just keep dyeing it.
Would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And again, in this election,
You're the vice president and you're running on problems that you should be fixing right now.
Well, she had to create the problem first. Now we need her to fix it.
She's not running on everything's great and I want to keep it that way and change nothing. She's running on Trump sucks and I'm going to fuck your life up. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're a little too honest about what she's saying, but yes.
You're in office to fix it. Yeah, no. She's in there for all of the important decisions, but she does not make she
only makes the decisions that you like.
Yes.
there are two very different choices. One that is focused on solutions and the other that is focused on constant grievance and running on problems with no agenda.
I don't know.
Was she accidentally slipping into wine drunk accent again?
Maybe.
Holston. Oh, that was annoying. But we have to hear it again.
Choices. One that is focused on solutions and the other that is focused on constant grievance.
What the fuck is that? Did she
and running on problems.
Did she go British and put a U where it doesn't belong?
Maybe.
COUN.
With no agenda for fixing them.
She
And
might
in
have
fact,
slipped into old-timey Canadian.
Oh, maybe. We'll see if we get an A at the end of this.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
That's weird to just, for one syllable, switch into an accent.
She's a strange duck, dude.
When my daughter was young, when she's first learning to talk and everything, every so often a word would come out and it would be with like a thick Brooklyn accent. It was weird because she's not exposed to that accent at all, but every once in a while certain words would just come out with the whole word, not like this dumb ad. Like, I'll just throw in a syllable of an accent.
She was remembering a past life.
Maybe it was her accent changes depending on what kind of let's call it buildup is in her throat.
Oh.
And a little Canadian just snuck out.
What a weird superpower that would be.
Right. I can take on any accent. I just need to swallow.
on this issue of immigration, he has been an obstacle to fixing this problem. My proposal includes strengthening.
The guy who was building the wall that you guys tore down when you got into office?
Yeah.
Sold off all the pieces that had already been paid for?
Yeah, which turned out to be illegal. Yeah, it's amazing how there's so much uncontrolled, unrestricted border problems when you do shit like that.
The guy who you guys reversed all of his policies and then shit went haywire and you're like, maybe we should do Trump's policies.
A weird notion.
Fuck. Okay.
What we must do to ensure that we have an orderly and humane immigration system and that we fix.
I don't care about it being orderly and humane. Get them the fuck out. Because your definition of humane is let them come here, squat babies, and become Americans and go fuck yourself. At this point, just get them out. Put them on a fucking trail of tears. Make it worse. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm with you. Probably a little bit more amenable to some of those ideas that are a bit more violent than that. But, you know, here we are.
Get out. We catch you coming across the border. We're going to shoot.
Yeah.
It's been broken for a long time. It has transcended administrations and it needs to be fixed.
Our border law has not been broken. It is the people enforcing it.
Or not.
You have made it clear that you believe this is a binary choice between you and Donald Trump. Those are the candidates.
It's literally a binary choice. There's two of them, dummy.
No, there's that Green Party. Cornel West, is that who's on Green?
Is he? I didn't even know.
He's on somebody's ticket, or he was.
I haven't paid attention to any of the third parties because none of them have a chance this time.
Yeah.
They don't even have a chance to make a meaningful splash this time. You said you believe it's binary. You finally got something right.
Yeah, you finally believe in the binary. Good job.
That's on the ballot.
There's
Of course,
only
of course.
two choices.
Yes, and I know that Joe Biden is not on the.
You just had to get shown up by Kamala on what binary means. You now have to move to Canada, and you're never allowed back.
The ballot. I understand that. But the reason that you are at the top of the ticket is because he dropped out of this race.
Oh, I have seen this part. Oh, Jack, this part is stupid. I know that's going to shock you.
Yeah, I was going to say. So it's going to look like the rest of this mess?
I apologize. Apparently, I saw 2 clips from this because I have seen this part.
I would probably block this out too. I understand.
Not on the ballot. I understand that. But the reason that you are at the top of the ticket is because he dropped out of this race. And so I want to ask you, and it was largely because of that debate performance back in June. You defended him in the days before and in the days after as you were campaigning for another 4 years for President Biden. Can you say that you were honest with the American people about what you saw in those moments?
No, she can't because she lied.
Well, she's going to lie again, and you know it.
Yeah, but I've already seen it, so that's not prognostication time. Now you know it without having seen it, so point taken. But trying to be honest with the audience is all.
Ah, fair.
President Biden, as you were with him again and again, repeatedly in that time.
Of course. Joe Biden is an extremely accomplished, experienced, and
Nobody was questioning either his experience or his accomplishments. They were questioning his competency.
Yeah, his mental acuity.
And you commented on his competency, on his mental acuity, on his cognition. We're going to use all the big words, Jack.
Oh, yeah. Well, you buy them for $1. You got to use them.
You commented on that. You didn't say he's experienced. You said, no, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. You said he runs circles around the staff.
Well, I mean, it depends. Maybe his staff is so retarded that they make Kamala look smart. Like they're just sitting there drooling on themselves.
No, you know what it is? Biden was having a Biden moment and thought he was a 6-year-old playing Duck, Duck, Goose. So he ran around him.
Oh, that is a serious possibility. You'll never catch me. I'm old Joey. Joey's going to get out of the way from you. Ha ha.
Dangerous. Thank you. I'm so incompetent. A private citizen is better at political negotiations than I am. Her saying that causes me physical pain. What will you do to overcome that, Kamala? She never says she can't. Yeah, she has basically told us that if she's elected, Donald Trump out of office can destroy anything she wants to do.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Sorry, back to her rambling dumbass answer here.
and capable in every way that anyone would want if they're president.
You never saw anything like what happened at the debate
Sorry,
night.
that anyone would want. You obviously didn't watch our show during that time.
Yeah.
Because I'd like my president to at least know where he's at. This motherfucker got lost in his garden. And again, for those of you who are new or who've missed it before, that is absolutely true. He got lost in the White House garden when you could literally see the White House from where he was standing.
Yeah, it's not like it was far away. It was right there. Thankfully, the Easter Bunny was there.
That one wasn't the Easter Bunny. That was the egg roll.
Oh, that's right.
Where he got lost. And then there's video of him where he got lost outside of his office, which is literally less than 10 feet from where he was standing.
I mean, it happened so many times that I got them confused.
Yes.
How many times have we had to see him get helped off stage, too?
Yeah. Remember, Obama had to lead him off, and they were like, no, this is a lie. And George Clooney came out and went, no, actually, that's kind of true.
Yeah, Joe Biden had to go get him a few times, like a lost child.
It came out, we saw it, that they had to give him pictures to show him where to walk down a fucking red carpet to the podium so he wouldn't get lost.
I don't know if I would trust those pictures, Joe. I think they're steering you toward danger. You should
Ragnar, thank
shake
you.
hands with danger.
Thank you, Ragnar. Joe peaked when he dropped the hard R to the sentence. Like with everything in Joe's life, that moment was written by someone else.
So true.
Behind closed doors with him?
It was a bad debate. People have bad debates.
It was
He
so
said
bad that
sister-
you're a kid.
He said a woman's sister could impregnate her if they raped her.
Yeah, like sister on sister impregnation rape is just such a major thing, though, Monkey. You don't
For
even
the record,
understand.
I do support abortion in the case of a sister raping and impregnating her sister.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
That whole debate, it wasn't just a bad debate. It was a clear picture of a dementia patient.
A very eye-opening one for a lot of the audience.
Have you seen the footage that Tucker's people got?
No.
Tucker has I think it's a new movie or something coming out, and he was on with Megyn Kelly last week.
Yeah,
and they
saw he
showed
was
some
on there.
clips
I didn't
of it.
watch it.
They showed some clips from that movie. His person was there during the debate backstage with the Trump camp.
Oh,
And they have the Trump people's reactions to that part where even Trump's like, I don't know what the hell he just said, and neither does he. And the whole room's like, what the fuck did he just say? Not about Trump, but about the Biden thing.
yeah. Look, we said that too.
Matt, thank you. Just getting here, so I'm heading back to the start. Everyone hit that thumbs up and get Monk out in the algorithm. Have to Jack, please. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Enjoy the show. Sorry that so much of it's come. Oh, fuck. Are we at 3.5 hours?
Yes.
Time flies when I'm making fun of a whore.
Well, I mean, we do what we got to do around here.
True.
Should he?
But he is absolutely.
But that's the reason why you're here, and he's not running for the top of the ticket.
Well, you'd have to ask him if that's the only reason why.
Really?
Are there other reasons?
You'd have to ask him. Okay, Kamala, I realize that you probably do have a non-disparagement agreement with the man. But it's not a good look for you to be like, I didn't notice the obvious signs.
Right?
I didn't notice the obvious signs is not a good thing for a presidential candidate to be saying out loud. We're not talking about her days at McDonald's and she didn't realize that she needed to turn the fryer on or anything. We're talking about this year. She just turned 60 and she's not smart enough to notice the obvious signs of dementia in the guy who got lost in the garden.
Right. Oh, hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah, take your time, bud. I don't know who is advising her that nobody has said, hey, stop saying these really stupid things. They make you look dumb. Best line of the night. Time flies when I'm making fun of a whore. I have my moments. I don't understand how she has so much support. I really don't. I do. But at some point, even your hatred of Trump, shouldn't it get to, I don't like him, but there is no way I can support that drooling retard? She is almost worse than Biden, and he has an excuse. He shouldn't be president, and that article, is he really the better choice? No, because we saw the debate. It is a sad fact that she is the better choice between her and Biden, but she's no more coherent than he is. Ranting this Megyn clip. Let me see. Jack stepped away, so I can click over there and see if that's the one. It may be. I know he's been on the show a few times. There we go. Make sure Where did that open up?
What are we talking about?
Dangerous shared the clip. Why is it not showing me? I said open in a new tab, motherfucker.
You'd like that one.
There it is. Okay. Oh, it opened on the other screen. Let me see. Oh, yes, that is the clip. So thank you, Dangerous. That's the one I was talking about. If you guys want to see the clip of the Tucker Carlson on with Megyn Kelly and don't want to watch the whole thing or go skip through, that is the clip of them showing the behind the scenes at the debate. I really do want to watch that whole movie because I like insider stuff like that where people get behind the scenes access. And it's not like this guy was sent there for this. He just happened to be with them when, that debate's coming up. Come hang out with us and you can record backstage there. I like that kind of stuff. I find it very interesting, especially historically. All right, Jack, you ready to finish up with this hoe?
No.
We're going to do it anyway.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, in fairness, we have almost 2 minutes left, so this could take a while.
What do you think?
I'm running for president of the United States. Joe.
You'd have to ask him. Yeah, but what do you think? I'm running. That's not even close to the question. She can't think that's a good answer.
I think she does. I think she's that stupid that she thinks these answers are clever.
This would have been a much better place for, I'm not going to answer a hypothetical. I don't know. I'm not going to answer a hypothetical. I just told you have to ask him. I don't know. From what I've seen, he's fine. It's nonsense. That's not a good answer because, again, it means you're missing the obvious. But that's at least addresses the question. It's almost like she's got Tourette's.
No, she's got retardation.
Tomato.
Fair.
Biden is not. And my presidency will be about bringing a new generation of leadership to America that is focused on the work that we need to do to invest in the ambitions and aspirations of the American people.
That's like the fourth time she's mentioned the aspirations of the American people, and it hasn't been relevant in any of the answers.
One of these times it's bound to be, though, right?
You would think after so many interviews, eventually that will be the answer to it. Somebody's going to go, what do you think about the aspirations of the American people? Just to throw her a bone.
And then she'll say, I don't want to answer hypotheticals.
Right?
It's a judgment question. That's why I ask. Can the American people trust you in these moments, even when it's maybe uncomfortable for America?
No. And you know what? Again, she's probably going to fuck it up because she did last time. Good on you. Because this is exactly it. And frankly, Brett Baer should have done this better. It's important to get into your thinking. You're asking to be our leader. We deserve to know how your thought process works. Can we trust your judgment? That is a fair fucking question.
What?
And if you believe that he is all there, that he didn't drop out because he's lost his goddamn mind, we deserve to judge you on that judgment of yours.
Yeah.
Question. That's why I ask. Can the American people trust you in these moments, even when it's maybe uncomfortable for Americans to level with Americans in that way? So that's why I ask. And it sounds like what you're saying is you feel like you never saw anything like that from President Biden.
I have worked.
That's not what she even came close to say. See, she did it. The fucking bitch.
She's bailing her out.
It sounds what you're saying. She didn't say anything like that.
With Joe Biden, whether hours and hours and hours over these 4 years, whether it be in the Situation Room or the Oval Office, Joe Biden is the one who was able to bring NATO together.
I thought the NATO treaty did that.
No, Joe Biden did it. He went back in time and brought everyone together.
She's literally repeating a dumbass claim that Joe made that he got fact checked on. Because he claimed he brought NATO together. He's trying to say that he brought NATO together to support Ukraine. Again, there was not much chance that they weren't going to do that because, Russia. But she just did it again. He made NATO and he killed the guy who nailed Jesus to the cross, and he's the reason for the Big Bang, and he is God.
He used to hang out with Gilgamesh.
Pretty sure NATO existed before 2021. You'd be right, Dangerous. I know we won't let you guys in because you're not in the North Atlantic, but neither is half the countries landlocked there in Europe. So you guys have maybe one day.
Yeah, eventually. We'll just change the acronym.
During a crisis where, for the first time in 70 years, Europe saw and has seen war. Joe Biden has done
70 years since Europe has seen war.
I feel like we're supposed to follow that up with, "Huh, good God, y'all."
I'm fairly certain that if this counts as Europe seeing war, the Russian takeover of Crimea under Obama counts.
Yeah, or taking Georgia under Bush, or what about Yugoslavia, the Czech Republic?
And now Europe hadn't seen wars in 70 years.
Oh, my bad.
Which I'm very curious what war she's talking about in 1950?
Bosnia Herzegovina. No, that was in the 80s, 90s.
1954 would be 70 years ago.
Oh, maybe she thinks the Korean War happened there.
Well, I could kind of give her the Korean War because, I mean, France was involved in that, but they were involved in Vietnam too.
Oh, yeah.
I know I am looking for historical knowledge from a fucking retard, so that's my bad.
the work that has been about being a leader on what we have done to fix so much of what has been broken in terms of the economy because of Donald Trump's mismanagement.
She gonna make me drop an M-bomb. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Bitch,
don't
please.
say it. Yeah, because that might be racist for 10 minutes. I don't know.
I can't. We only have 30 seconds to go.
That's like another half an hour of the program.
Was France really involved, though? If you're talking about Vietnam, yes. I mean, we got in to help them, and then they unasked the area. So,
yeah. They started that shit.
That was the Frenchies mess we were trying to clean up.
I speak with not only sincerity, but
did somebody tell her it's the last 30 seconds? Just get as many lies in as you can.
Apparently.
I speak with sincerity. Didn't you? Never mind. All right.
with a real firsthand account of watching him do.
I have a real firsthand account of watching because it's on video. That is such a meaningless thing. Okay, sorry. I should let her finish her dumbass answer.
I speak with not only sincerity, but with a real firsthand
like
account of watching him do this work. I have no reluctance in saying that.
I have no reluctance in making some random arbitrary comment that doesn't seem to make any goddamn sense at all.
If you pay attention to what she said there, though, Jack, she said, I have real firsthand knowledge of watching him. She didn't say do things well.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
It's always what they don't say.
No, of course I don't. Madam Vice President, thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for wasting our time. French women used to be hot. I think that's why France got it passed. Some French women are still hot. They just need to shave and bathe a little bit more. Perfume is not a bath.
Fact. You listening, India?
And teenage boys.
Yeah. Axe body spray is not a shower.
Oh, bro. My sons grew up during the Axe body spray thing. Fuck, dude. You need to go to school. It doesn't start for 3 hours. Yeah, I know. It's gonna take me that long to get out the house. God damn. Thankfully, there was only 1 or 2 moments like that. But Axe, I actually like the smell of Axe, but it's one that's got to be a hint. It cannot smell like a brothel. We need to cover up the puss stink.
Yeah, you smell like a whore.
Oh my God. Anyway, so Jack, there it is. There's yet another. This is what she did today as she took the day off. Repeated the same tired bullshit because they told her, hey, you need to get out there and give interviews because we're getting flack for it. And they would have been much better off just ignoring those things. Seriously, she could probably still be leading right now if she never started doing interviews.
Yeah, her interviews have done nothing but hurt her.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't understand why she's out there doing them.
because they are convinced that all that's missing is that she just can't get her message out there. The fact that every news organization out there is pushing her message for her and covering her ass doesn't matter. She probably would have still gotten some pushback, but eventually the press would have just been like, oh well.
Yeah.
Somebody running this campaign hates her, I'm convinced.
Oh, I agree.
And
Somebody
they're
that
right
used
to.
work for Joe.
In fairness, they're right to.
Yeah.
I'm not judging them for being correct here.
Oh God, no. She's a very unlikable person.
I don't understand how at this point, especially this close to the election, you can see the criticisms of the interviews she's given so far. I mean, seriously, some of these questions were exactly the ones Brett Baer asked her. And not have her prepared for these questions, especially when we know there have been times she's been given the questions in advance.
Yeah.
How do you not have? She can clearly memorize stuff. Maybe she's like Kelly Bundy and there's only so much space in her brain.
That is a possibility.
And if she learns one more new thing, she'll forget her own name. But as a political consultant who apparently you would think would want a career in the future, how do you not sit her down and go, stop saying that stupid shit? Answer the question.
Yeah, you would think.
It's literally the same question you've been asked 30 times. Answer it once. Fuck. They gave Trump shit over the whole, are you a white supremacist? No, but you didn't say so today.
That was then.
They browbeat him over questions he had already answered many times. And with her, when she refuses to answer them, they're just like, okay, let's move on. Let's just move on. I need a mink. A rat has invaded my workshop studio. Get a kitty. Kitty cats are everywhere. And they'll eat them. Jack, I'm going to wrap up here because I did not mean to go 4 hours on this.
Well, I mean, there was so much dumb there. It was
I would
unavoidable.
have ate first, man. My stomach just growled. So, guys, thanks for joining us. I don't know if we'll watch much more of Kamala. If we do, maybe just clips, because literally there's nothing new. And
It seems to be a lot of the same crap over and over again.
I even though she did try to bail Kamala out twice, I don't think this interviewer did a horrible job. She did push back and try to explain to Kamala that, hey, we're trying to get what you think. And
Yeah.
Kamala's like, that's hypothetical.
Yeah, there's no evidence I do that.
I would probably give her probably a C rating on this for her interview.
Yeah, we've seen a lot worse interviews.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and I think she was trying to get a couple of answers out of her. It just there's no taking when somebody's that unaccessible.
Yeah.
She's purposely obfuscating everything around her.
A politician talking about, I'm not going to answer a hypothetical in relation to what they believe should happen policy-wise is unacceptable. That is just unacceptable. That is disqualifying.
Oh, absolutely.
But again, guys, please, please, please vote for Trump if you're going to vote. Don't vote if you don't know what the fuck's going on. I mean that sincerely. I don't care who you support. But if you don't know, stay home because I don't want your retarded ass voting. If you are voting and informed, vote for Trump because Kamala is horrible and the Democrats cannot be allowed to get away with what they pulled this entire election cycle.
Yeah, not to mention all the lawfare. That stuff's got to stop. You gotta, what do they call those? Rumbles?
Son of a bitch, I muted the cough and got distracted. Vince said, great show, fellas. Thanks for letting me watch along. I had a great time. We'll be back. For the
Awesome.
record, we're not on at the same time every night. We're on when I can do it. We do it most nights. And it's been sketchy lately, but still, I try to do every night. It tends to be in the overnight times. I would say anywhere from like 9 p.m. to 9 a.m., depending.
Yeah, let's just give them half a day.
Good luck.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming and hanging out. Dangerous, thank you. As someone who learned how to do media training, the sad thing is I think these were her prepared answers. Oh, they were absolutely prepared answers.
Yeah,
The
that's-
identical answers make me think they think she's answering these questions well. I'm sorry, Jack, what were you saying?
No, that's the saddest part of this is these are the prepared answers.
Oh, yeah. My issue though is like I said, she's just giving nonsense. She knows that she's supposed to say these things. I know I'm supposed to say aspiration. I know I'm supposed to say Nobel laureates, but she doesn't know when to say them. And that part is highly important. Because yeah, she doesn't think this is all scripted as it appears her entire career has been. Again, the woman took credit for prosecuting a fake crime. And by fake, I mean fictional. It was made up. It wasn't real. It wasn't like somebody was falsely accused. The crime literally didn't happen.
Yeah, it was a hypothetical training exercise.
Yeah, and she's like, we put that guy in jail. All right.
Right next to Harry Potter's godfather.
Yes, indeed.
Guarded by Dementors.
Sirius Black and him were in the same cell.
Yeah.
All right.
Azkaban's a scary prison.
It really is. Oh, do you think she makes a Dementor? Never mind. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so very much for the donations. You're so kind. Don't stop because we like it.
Yeah.
But thank you. Jack, anything you want to shell out?
I dropped some links to some cool videos. As always, thank you guys so much for all the support you give us. Like Monkey said, we really do appreciate it. All the donos go a long way toward keeping the show going. And you guys are awesome. So don't stop being awesome.
Monk and Jack, I did this job for a university subject, and I could do a better job than she pays people for. I've often given you guys theoretical answers, use her word, that would have been better than hers. Doesn't make them good because most of the time there's not good answers to the question. But there are political ways to do this, to not step on your dick. And instead, part of it might be that they know it's better not to let her go off script. 32 days, 32 days election. Is that teleprompter working? 32 days. So maybe they're absolutely right that these are the best answers for her because you can't let her go off script. Remember how angry she seemed that Donald Trump goes off script? That's what? Who does that? People with working brains.
Yeah. I mean, shock Pikachu face and all, but
so maybe they know her well enough to know, yeah, don't even try. She's fucking stupid, man. Anyway,
that.
Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, we love you. Take care of yourselves. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Songity sing. I can't sing after listening to Kamala. I'm dumber because she even exists. Penis in her face. I don't know. Fuck that. Ugh. She's so dumb.
I know.